Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Pop Culture Gamers podcast. My name's Hayden. We're on show number 72. I have Alan and I also have Steve in the room, but we also have Mr. Mark Armstrong, also known as Gnats, joining us today. So, welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hi. Hey, Connor Tato.
Okay, so who wants to go first then? Should we invite Gnats to go first because he's our guest? So, he were on the 360 Gamer podcast last week, and we thought, well, you had a very serious announcement, which obviously we wanted to help you get that message out as well. But we've always wanted to get you on here anyway, so we finally got you on anyway. So, welcome, Nats.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us
a bit about me, or what do you want to know?
How you doing, basically? How you doing?
How you doing? Bit about you, because I suppose that some people won't know, but Nats, for those of you who have only ever joined the show, known me and Steve as this. Me and Steve used to be in another podcast. We won't mention the name of it, but Nats is also a fellow alumni of that podcast. And Steve and Nats used to record together. I think there was a short overlap.
Well,
yeah, few months or something, wasn't there? So yeah,
that's about 6-7 years ago now, isn't it?
Oh, blimey, yeah, because my one that I did with friends, I did all sorts of things on that, and that was getting on for 5 years ago when I started doing that.
Yeah. When you did White Noise?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I used to listen to that as well.
Yeah, I did.
I enjoyed that. Yeah. It just it's a lot of time doing these when you're very little people to help. When there's only a few of you, it is a lot to do. So I suppose a very quick potted of what's happened. Actually, I suppose if you don't mind, I'll go back 18 months, just over 18 months, because that's when I first said I wanted to, because I had a lot of shout outs about 18 months from people, because I nearly croaked then. I had a heart attack.
Yes.
And was very lucky there, but they literally had me on the table in about hour and a half and had stent fitted the lot. And so having got through that and back to pretty good full fitness and health wise, and then about 4 weeks ago, just the odd little word wasn't coming out right. That's not the sort of person for me. And then I didn't think an awful lot of it until my partner picked up on it a couple of weeks later and said, "Well, you dropped the odd word or whatever." So get it checked out, taken into hospital. They do some scans and basically bluntly telling me I've got a brain tumour that's swollen around the speech area of it, which is what's affecting that. And then told me that it is terminal. But at the moment, until they've taken it out and had to see and analyse it, that it, how bad that is. So that was obviously very difficult, not just telling her, but bringing my children in as well. And because I didn't want to go through and then, then tell them secondhand. So they came in as well. And so I'm now waiting. They put me on steroids to try and get the swelling down to allow them to operate on that easier, which is happening on the 5th of April. So, I'm going in on the 5th, having it done on the 6th, in there for a week, and then out for a month, and then back. Straight away you're banned when you have something like that for driving, so at least a year, but potentially I can drive. It just means that then, because when you've got two cars, you don't need two cars, and it's all the stuff that you've got to sort out around that as well. So it's now just, but the surreal thing about all of this is that at the moment it's not just about you, because everyone else has got, again, potentially surviving things. They've got to feed themselves, with all these people being so greedy, and so you can't concentrate on just your stuff either, and yeah, it's weird. So, and then we had we're trying to get married because we want to obviously be married before went in, because being very blunt, we don't know what could happen when I go in there. So we wanted that tied up as well, and that's what you have to go through to get that done, and getting suits to at least look partly respectable. So, but we've got them eventually, and so we'll see what happens. But I hope that I'll be get back on here, and I know Hayden said he's happy to keep update what's going on.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't stop me doing it. Now, well, no, I haven't not felt bad or unwell, and so I still do everything that I normally do. So and then if you want, well, no, that's it. I wanted to go out and fly because the weather's been lousy. I went out and bought a drone about 4 weeks ago, and I've got one of my GoPro drones that I've been waiting to get for years when they first came out. So, but I've hardly taken it out because of the weather. So yeah. But that's about my history at the moment. I've obviously, when we get onto your games and all that other stuff, I've got plenty I can chit in with that for you.
Yeah.
So I'll hand over to someone else.
Okay, well, Steve, do you want to go?
Yeah, well, so everything else is really in comparison, to be honest, especially with Mark's situation.
No, but that so very quickly, for me, that is, but everyone are really under the same, and that's what I had to try and, when I was thinking about it and you analyse it, everyone has got, sometimes quite, they've got family, they've got elderly, so it is so difficult.
But it is like putting life into perspective.
Yeah.
From everyone's point of view. As much as I had the flu 2 weeks ago, and then Sunday last week, I was working that day, and I was getting a heavy chest and thought nothing of it. And I went to my next job on Monday, but I got back and I was even coughing heavier. I was basically wheezing, and we were contemplating, due to what's happening in the world at the minute, whether I should go to work. And I phoned up the doctors and they said no. Yeah. So I phoned 111. They said, no, you stay at home for 7 days at the moment.
Did they just say 7 days, Steve? It's 14 here.
I know. No, this is what happened. They said 7. Okay. He said 7 days. I don't think he realised I was with family.
Okay.
Because when I spoke to him, he didn't ask if there's anyone else living in the house. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And a day later, I tested my temperature and it was 101.
Jeez.
Yeah, that freaked the life out of me.
Yeah, that's scary.
Which so I got my temperature down again now, but I'm still feeling rough with everything else. If you can hear me, sorry, I'm trying not to.
Yeah, you can hear it actually. Yeah, you can hear it.
So anyway, so then I phoned my own surgery up, and the answer phone message coming in said, only speak to me if you need to, and it said. It said that if I had the same symptoms, you should be off 14 days, and if you're family, then they should be 2 meters apart, and they should be off as well.
Wow.
So I contacted the work and explained to them and said, look, I've been off this week, but my doctors, they've said I've got to be off for 14 days. So I know it's difficult because we've got a lot of few engineers down, so we've got work to do. In the public sector, looking after CCTV and access control in Sainsbury's and places like that, which at the moment
which need them.
Exactly. And so what I did do was I got 5 days holiday left, and I emailed my manager and said, look, can I take these 5 days off next week as I'm off? He went, yeah, fine. So at least that reduces my sick pay.
Okay.
Just hopefully then I did all right. I think the month before I did a good overtime, so that overtime follows every other month. So the way it works is that overtime will come in this pay packet that I'll get on the 27th. So hopefully it should be fine. But it's just feeling this. I've not been out of the house since over a week now, and food's hard to get hold of. You know, it's
Yeah, it's
got no eggs anymore.
it's
I'm gutted. I like to have a scrambled egg in the mornings, and we haven't got any eggs. We just about got enough milk and spread now.
Wait, I was
crazy.
around with friends last night, and he gave us 4 eggs, should I say? Because I love eggs in the morning.
You know, and
But is that just like I went to the shop today? Sorry, I went to the shop today because I was in the mood for a bar of chocolate after my run, and this like I went to 3 different shops because and all 3 shops are full of stuff, and there was very little people in there. So it must be just an England thing, is it? Like, and I think in America it seems to be coming up as well. I don't know.
I've seen pictures of people queuing outside Tesco's
Yeah,
around
so
the
have
car
I.
park. It's just unreal.
And is that definitely like sometimes you see stuff in media, and I'm more there. I'm kind of 50 now and stuff you see online sometimes if it's true or not.
Yeah.
It's like media scaring, and you know yourself what they do.
Oh god, yeah.
But is that definitely what like are the shelves empty over there? Like,
Well, they have been because I
wow,
asked them to get some stuff. They said, "I've been to 2 places and I can't find anything. There's nothing on the shelves."
I have to admit, I've been out today, and things like the bread aisle and the milk are gone. Oh, when I went, but that was middle of the afternoon. Really,
What?
they were empty, apart from bread buns that had been baked on site. Those were the only ones that were left, so I just got a load of those. But most other stuff is there. The shortage is still of toilet rolls, which is ridiculous. But yeah, these pictures where it's showing you, like really long aisles with no food. Yeah. I've not come across that.
Okay.
No, we've been lucky.
It's a social distancing thing. Okay,
yeah.
I'm in my sort of man cave room, and I sleep upstairs. I sleep on the lounge. When she comes down, then I go up there and I grab a couple of hours in bed, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I've just been doing that all week.
My friend. Go on, sorry, Steve.
No, I'm just going to say that you guys that go in the shops now can tell me this. How can you do a social distance of 2 meters in a shop?
They changed the aisles in the stores here in Macru, where I'm from. They had the 3 shops, the 3 big supermarkets. They took out middle aisles.
Right.
And they've done a few. They've got all these markers and stuff, and you have to see. Us Irish are very good. When we're told to do something, we tend to do it. Like, if we have to buckle down and not spend money, if we're told that by the government, we don't do it. So we were told. Like my friend, I was going to say, he was in England for a couple of days ago for 2 days because he's an engineer and he travels a lot. And I told him not to go. And then when he came back, he was told he had to isolate, even though he had the temperature and everything, he had to isolate for 2 weeks from his wife. So he's sleeping in the van now outside. They have one of those vans they built themselves, for traveling around Europe and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's sleeping in the van. And she's sleeping in the house, and he has to stay there for 14 days. And he's doing it because he was told to do it.
And also, I don't know if you just saw the news about an hour ago. The Prime Minister's ordered people with respiratory problems. They know they are with the doctors. They're saying that you've got to stay in for 12 weeks.
Yeah, that's the same here. Anyone asthma, respiratory, or
you're looking at basically elderly people have now got to stay at home for 12 weeks, and there's going to have to be the army are going to distribute food boxes to these people and leave them on their doorstep.
Yeah.
Does that include obstructive sleep apnea?
Doubt it.
I don't know. You could chance
it. The thing is, though, when I finish this next week, I want to go back to work. I need to go back to work and start earning.
Yeah, but like if there's a lockdown, will your job still be a necessity? Like, no offense, Steve.
No.
I thought your government's going paying like 70 or 80% of your wages for 20 weeks anyway, or 12 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
so
we're
something good. Like
we're in I suppose we're in the public sector because we look after. We look after NHS hospitals, surgeries.
Oh, okay. So you probably will be kept going. Like,
we look after CCTV access control for Sainsbury's, for example, and co-ops coming on board in April as well. So we've got all this sort of stuff as well as other stuff that we got Network Rail in London. We got Network Rail outside of the outskirts of London as well. Different stations we look after.
It's up to your employer to put into the government to say fund
That's it.
providing they don't
All right.
lay you off. They've got to keep you on, and they will pay 80% of your salary up to £2,500 a month.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
but I mean,
that's guaranteed.
What's nice is that April kicks in. It'd be a new year for holiday.
No, it goes from the 1st of March.
Ours is April, I think.
Okay.
It will start from the 1st of March for you.
Well, here I'm laid off, in a way. There was 190,000 of us laid off in Ireland, chefs that work in Ireland in the industry, the restaurant stuff. No, I'm lucky enough. I've got a boss who's looking after me and stuff, but they reckon it'll go into June and July here before we even think about going back. They're not messing around at all. But I don't know. It's weird times.
What I mean,
you're living through history, really, aren't you? In a way, people who live through. I know it's not as bad as World War I and World War II and all this. That's a different animal altogether. But it's a different. In 200 years' time, they'll be talking, or they'll be, about what's happening.
No, we're going through a bit of history.
Yeah, we're living through it
in the history books. Definitely.
It's weird.
You never know. There might be somebody 200 years in the future listening to this podcast, listening to us talk about what's going on.
Sorry.
Don't make him laugh. Don't mention the war.
But seriously, I mean,
Yeah, it's true.
It's true because they'll be taking all of the media from the time and listening and analysing it about how it affected the individual people's lives.
This ain't end of the world shit, but it's not far off it. You know what I mean? Not theoretically or possible, but just from what we live and learn and see and everything else, this sort of thing can wipe out a planet.
Yeah.
Well,
here's a thought for you. Who would have thought that last year, when The Division got released, that we were actually being given a training sim?
Yeah, and The Simpsons were actually doing a cartoon on the virus, 1993, weren't they? So
yeah, they were.
I also think this is a big recon, I think there'll be a rebalancing with some of these bastard companies.
Yeah.
Because I think the companies that have supported the people and done all they can to make it as comfortable as, I know they can't do everything, because they could lose their livelihoods, but they're doing what they can. But the ones that have done that, the people will see those companies, and the companies that support them, they will get behind them and they will come out of it in good shape. The ones that haven't, you hear about, I don't know, people have read it or looked at it about Virgin and bloody Philip.
I saw some of the posters.
And you hope that his staff, get picked up by other companies, because to lay him off when percentage of his money worth could easily keep them on, and that's where you want the that payback come.
Yeah, it's true.
So anyway, apart from all that, yes.
Yeah, stuff.
I've been playing a few games. I completed a game a few weeks ago, so that makes a change.
Cool.
What have we do? Yeah, there's the Resident Evil demos out at the moment.
I did that.
A bit of Destiny. A bit of Terminator Resistance as well.
Oh.
So I don't know if you've played that or not.
I have, yeah. Reviewed it a few months back.
Yeah, you were.
Be interested to hear what you think about it, actually.
Yeah, I've only just started the game because it was really cheap, so I thought I'd give it a go. And watched a couple of films. I can think if I can put my brain into gear. That's about it, really. I'll just mute my mic and Alan can take over.
Okay, I'll be quick enough. My week has been pretty much you know yourself, talking to you, Hayden, and stuff. I get stuff sorted from my family and get things in place for kind of the lockdown, stuff like that. I started my little run challenge, which I'm doing every day, just to keep the mind going.
And just remind us all, what is your run challenge?
I'm going to see how many kilometers I can do from the start of this lock-in to the end, and if it's 50 days or 100 days or something. So I'm currently at 112 kilometers in 5 days.
You were crazy.
I know, yeah.
That's good, though.
I've lost 5 pounds in 5 days,
Mhm.
but I think that's down to the fact that I'm a head chef, as you know, that like I spend 14 hours a day in the kitchen eating, pretty much tasting all day. Now, usually the balance from the running and the eating kind of keeps me at a normal weight, just under 12 stone.
Yeah.
But because I don't have all the food that I'm eating at work anymore, and I'm still eating good at home, but it's just not as much as I usually do. That the calories are being burnt more than what I'm intaking. So when I stepped on the scales today, it was 5 pounds lighter. So I'm going to pig out tonight. That's the plan.
I've got an idea. You know, on that episode of Star Trek called Turnabout Intruder, where they swap
Yeah.
bodies,
So
can we swap bodies for a couple of weeks?
that's strange.
Because
That's strange you said that. They did. I just watched a Red Dwarf episode where Rimmer swapped with Craig Charles' character to help him get thinner. I was laughing at it. No
Yeah.
problems. I can take you. Look, it's a good plan. It keeps me, like I said to you, I'm trying not to treat this as a holiday. You know, because it's not a holiday. Like usually, a holiday, you gain weight and you go enjoy yourself. But so the plan is, I'm up early. We have jobs to do. I'm out for the run. Come back, make dinner, and try not to sit down till 6 or 7. And again, I'm always complaining I never had. And I said to you earlier on, I'm always complaining I never have time for gaming. And now I have loads of time for gaming, and I'm
And you're
just
still
not
not
gaming.
gaming.
So it doesn't make sense. And even I was out running today, and I was going, great. No, I'll go home and I'll start Doom Eternal. And I got home and I just went, nah. So I ended up watching a movie instead. So apart from that, no, it's good. It's like life's continuing. I'm mainly watching movies, to be honest with you. That's what I'm kind of doing at the moment. And TV shows. I started The Outsiders. I'm halfway through that, even though I've read the book. I'm giving it a go. I'm I'm reading a trilogy of books. Sorry, no, it's six. It's a 6 books series that I've been putting off for a while. So I'm on book 4 of that on the audiobook because of my runs. I'm going through the books very fast, and I'm also listening to the Star Wars one, which you have as well now, Hayden.
Yeah.
The new one, excuse me, the new Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker. It's actually the book to the movie film. But it's actually different. It's a much better version. There's actually way more. It's really, really good because the movie was crap, as we know.
Well, there was supposed to be a JJ cut of the last, the Rise of Skywalker, which had a lot of that stuff from the book. So if we ever do get to see that JJ cut, because evidently Disney told him to take an hour out of it.
Oh, did they? They told him put horses in space, did they?
I think he still had the horses in space.
Oh.
I do think when it was suggested, he went, "Nay, lad." But there you go.
I could use a 4-letter word for that, and I'm not going to.
So yeah, apart from that, no, all good. Just taking day for day, trying not to watch too much news. But my OCD, or as people who have OCD call it CDO, I kind of have to know everything that's going on, so it's tough not to watch the news. So apart from that, no good. And on a personal note, it's nice to have Mark Gnats on. I've listened to you for years, going back, Gnats, on my runs, even going back on the older podcasts.
Oh, blimey,
And it's kind of surreal now to have you on here, even any circumstances. I'm delighted to actually chat to you for the first time. We've spoken kind of, I think, on Twitter and Facebook and other places. It's a really nice to actually chat to you, man.
Do you remember Big Andy?
Yes.
I sent him a Twitter a couple of days ago about putting together a little joining up together and having a podcast and doing a little reminiscent of things that because we had a laugh in those days. And so he's said we have to do that. It'll have to be obviously afterwards now, but
great idea.
Yeah, so he's definitely up for that. So we're going to see if we can get something.
I'll be the first one downloading that and I'll listen, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my time hidden.
Okay, well, I'll do my time then. So I've been working at home this week because, I can, because I've got a laptop. So I've been socially isolated in that sort of respect. And that's going to continue now for the foreseeable future because of my role. But at least I can still work from home.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure that that's fair when other people are getting paid time off, but there you go. That's one of the things about being a key worker, isn't it? Other than that, my wife had an operation this week on a foot. The surgeon did not do as I asked, and because, as you know, in terms of surgery now, if you have a stint put in your heart or whatever, they go up through your groin that way. I asked if they would go through my wife's vocal cords to her foot, but they wouldn't do that.
I actually had mine done in my wrist.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
Weirdest thing ever.
Which wrist was it? Your left or your right one? Presumably
right.
Your left.
Right. Because I went back in a second time to see if they needed to do another one a month or so later, and that was worse because they have to actually block your artery for a few seconds to see what the pressure was like, and that was horrible. It was worse than actually having the heart attack because it felt like you were having another, but it was horrible. Yeah, they just put this pressure on there, and you get all hot, and you suddenly can't grasp for any breathing. And it's no, that's all right. We've got enough pressure there, and let you through again. So, but yeah, that wasn't pleasant.
Yeah. Well, anyway, now my wife's got her foot all bandaged up, and she has to keep her foot in the air, and she's making the most of. Oh, would you pass me the remote control? Oh, I'd like a cup of tea. Oh, can I have a sandwich? Oh, can you go and do this? Oh, can you go down to the shops because I can't drive, and all of that sort of stuff. So I'm getting all of that at the moment,
Don't you do
which is
that
fine.
Anyway.
Try not to.
Mine is spoiled, somewhat chronic. So, God dear. So all my friends who are probably, they said they're going to listen to it tonight, or whenever it comes out. They know how much she's spoiled. So,
yeah. No, I must. To be fair, I do. Jane, my wife, she's great. But we have nothing in common in terms of likes. That's the thing. It's very hard to watch a movie or anything because what I like, she hates. Absolutely.
How do you two got together? I will never know. I don't get it.
Opposite attracts. For every old shoe, there's an old sock.
Yeah, I think it definitely is a state of opposites attract. I mean, she doesn't even like Star Trek, and she's never watched an episode.
Divorce to get rid of her.
I know. The only time I've ever got her to watch something that I liked was when she lived with her mum, I decorated a bedroom for her. And she said to me, "Oh, you've done such a good job. I'll take it and go and see any movie you like," without knowing that Attack of the Clones had just been released at the cinema. So I took it. She fell asleep in the movie and started snoring. And I heard the guy in front of her saying, "God, those sound effects sound close." It was her snoring. But no, she's a good lass. But I would never tell her that to her face, Other than that, it's just been doing a normal social distancing. Although what I can't understand is I went to Sainsbury's today, and there was a person. I was trying to keep my 2 meters from people outside, and this couple, whatever direction I walked, were walking at me, and they ended up passing me within like a foot, and I thought, this is the middle of a great big car park. And no, I've got my toilet roll at home. I bought online in bulk. You would not believe how many toilet rolls I have. Let's put it this way: I'm sorted for the year. I can, I'm all right. So yeah, that's my week. So, anyone else got anything to add?
Nope. All
Nope,
good.
okay.
Right.
In that case, then we'll go on to the interesting stuff, which is gaming this week. Okay, so gaming this week. Anybody got any news, guys, other than the fact that everything's delayed and we're not going to be seeing anything for a long time?
Well, the only thing I saw really was the GameStop are finally closing their stores.
Yeah, because it was.
Yeah.
They'd ordered their staff to go in, hadn't they, irrespective of what was told to them?
Yeah, I have a friend who works here in the local one, and they got stuff down from corporate, I suppose, whatever you call it, and they were pretty much told if the guards or someone came into the store, they were told to give them a phone number to ring this number, and they're not to close. That they were to be considered essential staff in the current crisis, in the current climate.
Right.
But what happened? What he was saying that 2 stores in Cork that the staff actually walked out and went home, and they had to close the store because they had no staff. And then the next day, they actually corporate sent down staff from another store and put them into the store that people had left, and pretty much fired the rest of the staff. So I'd say it's going to be an ongoing issue here. I don't know about the rest of the world, but they finally closed now. So now they're doing pickups outside. My friend is working inside the store, so you ring if you want the game. They're not doing trade-ins anymore. They're not accepting games anymore because they can't. They might be clean or something. I don't know. But so if you want the game, you ring, or you book it online, and you say what store you want to collect it in, and then they knock and they'll hand it out to you. Is what they're doing at the moment. So it's a strange thing. Like, it's, just thinking about themselves at the top again, not thinking about staff and.
Well, realistically speaking, most people are going to go for online sales now anyway, aren't they?
I think so. I think online's going. I mean, it already has. Xbox just released numbers that and Steam that it's the highest online they've had, or on amount of people online at one time concurrent to date since they've started. Both clients have started. PSN didn't release any figures, so I don't know. I'm sure they have a lot as well. They probably have a load, but we don't talk about PlayStation.
I haven't bought physical for years. The last physical I bought was Rock Band 4, and that was only because I had to get the instruments, and eventually I got rid of the physical of that and bought it on digital. So I don't have to get off my arse to change over any disc.
Yeah,
so.
I still buy the discs because financially for me, like the next 3 years, well, I don't know what's going to happen, but like, as the lads know, I've got the 2 girls in college from September. So I'm handing out over 20 grand for the next 3 years, 24 grand a year. So I kind of buy and resell now. It's going to be my policy for the next few years, just so I can kind of keep the cost down a little bit, like.
Yeah.
Or else I'll just wait and buy them when they go on sale, like I did with what was that one I did last week, Steve? Days Gone, which I'm really enjoying. Yeah. I got that very cheap.
You see, what you're probably not aware of, Nats, is the fact that what we have here is Ireland's version of Del Boy.
Well, very well out of it as well.
I'll tell you now, I went to PC World on, what day is it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they were selling Rage. Do you all remember Rage? Yeah. They were selling, they had a basket just inside the door, and they had like Xbox headphones and all that kind of stuff, and they were selling for €7 each, down from whatever price they were. €7 is what, about £4 or £5, I'm guessing. So I bought 4. I cleared them out. They looked at me and they weren't going to sell them, and they sold them all to me. 4 PlayStation and 2 Xbox ones, and then usually I go to CX to trade them in. But I actually rang my friend in GameStop, and they were doing a 25% extra. And I rang him. I said, I've got 6 copies. Will you take them? And I said, they're still in the seal, so you're grand. And he took them, all 6 copies. So I made over €100 profit on it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so that paid for my Doom Eternal then as well, on top of that. So it's good. But so, yeah, there's some good deals out at the moment. Like, so, well, there won't be any more. Shops are closed.
True. Okay, so no other news then. So shall we just presumably new releases. We've got Half-Life Alyx on PC VR on the 23rd, Bleeding Edge on the 24th, War Tile, Assemble with Care on the PC, Bipped on the PC, Grand Guild on the PC, Saints Row 4 Re-Elected on the Switch, and One Piece Pirate Warrior 4 on PC, Xbox One, PlayStation, and Switch on the 27th.
That's a poor selection. There's nothing really.
I don't know. I enjoyed Saints Row 4.
Yeah, but on the Switch, yeah.
I think that'll work on the Switch, to be honest.
I know, but I mean, if you think about it, Animal Crossing now came out on yesterday, wasn't it? And Doom Eternal came out on the Thursday because they did an early day release over here for it. We've nothing really else now till Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
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 I wouldn't buy any of those. Well, Bleeding Edge is going to be free in Xbox Pass, anyway.
Yes, it is.
I'll give that a go.
Yeah. So we've also got some Epic games. We've got the Stanley Parable and Watch Dogs, which are free at the moment. So if you've got a PC, head over to the Epic store and pick those up. And then from the 26th, we've got Figment and Terminator X Punisher. I'm not sure what those two are. Any of you guys know what they are?
Say that again.
Anyone there?
Sorry, I was muted for a bit.
Oh, okay. Figment and Terminator X Punisher.
I've never heard. I'm sorry, I've never heard of them.
No, the new games that are coming out free on the PC on the Epic Store. That's all. So, okay, in that case, then, do you want to go first, Steve, with what you've been playing?
Okay, I just had a big. Okay, yeah. So I'll make these very brief because I can't talk at a good length of time at the moment. So, Final Fantasy 15, I completed that the other week, and got to the end of the story. That was 55 hours worth.
That's
really enjoyed it. There's so much content to do afterwards because you're allowed. Because I think it's really spoiled at this time of the game being out, but you use this character to time jump back to the other areas, so you can go around and tidy up extra quests and stuff. And also there's some new quests. And also there's some extra downloadable content which is free, which is that you use after the story as well, which I've not got to anyway. But plenty to do with that game. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Really had a good time. It was a nice little break from Destiny.
Are you playing Destiny at the moment?
Yeah, going on to that. Yeah, so I'm 989 at the moment.
Okay.
And going through the Season of the Worthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on, I think, rank 3 now, unlocking the the computer and that.
The bunker.
Thank you. Yes. So I'm going through that, enjoying that. I've been just going through those bounties, which does take you right around the planets. And for example, I was doing some forging for one part I was doing today.
Yeah, that's brought it back in, hasn't it? Because it brought the whole.
Yeah, and it's bloody tough because I think it's 980. You got to be for that, and unfortunately, the one I used to like isn't available at the minute. I used to down on EDZ, but the one you have to go to is it's the one with the servitor as the main boss, and that was no mean feat, to be honest. But I did get what I needed to get done because I'm going for an auto rifle, as they're sort of prominent at the moment in the PvP and everything else. I thought I'd go for an auto rifle on that, and just really enjoying sort of bouncing back up with that. And obviously, as you know, Hayden, me and Mark over the last few days had got through a couple of trials in getting some weapons we were after, which you've done as well. Which
I haven't done any trials at the moment. Have you?
No, but as in trials and tribulations, not as in.
Oh, right.
No, you need. I think you got to do trials. You've got to have 3 people. I think, haven't you? So
yeah, you do. Yeah.
So I haven't really been doing that, but I've been doing everything else. And as much as I haven't been playing a lot of gaming over the last week, I'm talking further back at the moment because I was just not really in the mood, in the way I was feeling. It's something I do a little bit, but it's just. You think, oh, that's it. You're off sick. You'd be gaming all the time, but honestly, no, it's nothing. That's further from the truth, to be honest. I did start Terminator Resistance, and I'm not a long way into it, but it seems all right. It's going to be another quest hunt as you go through different sections in the game, I should imagine. So did you complete it at all, Hayden?
I got about probably a quarter of the way through. I felt it was really linear. And to be honest, it felt like very last gen sort of game
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
It's,
I mean, it was £13, so that's why I tried it. Because I'm in that sort of mood for a bit of Terminator. Even though I haven't sat and watched Terminator, the latest one yet. I'm still sitting up there on my shelf. But yeah, I can't think of anything else really, gaming wise, that I've been playing at the moment. Yeah, that's about it. But yeah, but obviously, the Final Fantasy demo that came out, didn't it? And
yes, it is.
I gave it a couple of runs, then just deleted it because I didn't want to get too engrossed. Now I look forward to when it comes out in, about 4 weeks' time. Is it now? I think I'm not too sure.
Do you want to be deleting it though? Because normally they do special unlocks if you've got it on your system.
Well, it's in the library if I need to reboot it back if I hear about it. But so I did that, and then I did start having a go at Resident Evil 3 demo.
Mm.
You can't complain from them how they put that together. It's very much how they did with the Resident Evil 2 remake, and looks gorgeous, plays great, and yeah, that's going to be a game on my list to play when it comes out. Very much so. Those two games come out in a week apart, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So that'll be a bit difficult. I'm not too sure what I'll do yet.
Mm.
You can't play two together, and those sort of games you either play one or the other.
Yes, that's true.
So I might decide on one and then go for it, and then pick up the other one a bit later if need be when it's a bit cheaper as well.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm going to just mute myself for a bit now. You've got a good chat.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to start coughing again. But yeah, as about it. Go on, you crack on.
Yeah, just chip in when you want. Mark, I know you've got a few games to talk about, so if you don't mind, we'll go next, and then
Yeah, okay.
we can talk about, because I've played some of the ones that you've done as well. So, Alan, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll just talk about, like I said, mine was more movies, but I'm continuing kind of with the Days Gone game. It's definitely getting better as I go on. I had a big description of it last week. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I suppose what's going on in the world at the moment, maybe I'm enjoying it more because it feels very real. The end of the
Feels
world.
like it's a training simulator.
Yeah, like a training simulator. I joked to my wife that I've watched all 10 seasons of Walking Dead, so I'm ready for anything, you know. I know who to throw under the bus and who to take on.
Yeah.
So yeah, continue, and I'm going to continue Steve's one there on the Resident Evil 3 game demo. I gave that a good go now, and I played it both on the Xbox and the PS4. I kind of wanted to see what it looked like on the two different. It definitely looks better on the Xbox for me. There's a notice on the frame rate and stuff. No, saying that I'm more of an Xbox gamer than a PlayStation gamer. It's if you've played Resident Evil 2, the remake that came out was it last year? I suppose. Yeah, it seems like
a year ago, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It feels very right like that. You feel right at home the minute. I felt like straight away I picked up the controllers and I went, you know. The movement of Jill, the gun handling, the UI was all pretty much spot on. The inventory, the world, all the maps. It looks. I mean, they call it the Res engine or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're calling that engine. What they're getting out of it. I mean, I think they use the same engine for Final Fantasy VII. And it definitely is one of the best looking engines out there. That you can do a lot with it. It kind of and actually continues the story as well from 2, the remake. They had a few changes, I know, to that story, so it's continuing that on. Now, what they did in this one, I think, is they made the zombies. I noticed they're kind of harder to hit. Remember before they used to shake a lot, and you kind of go for headshots.
They move their head left to right more often.
Yeah, it's way more now, isn't it? So I thought it was just me. So before you get headshots, it was like kind of a music. The way I look at it, like if you're playing a rhythm game, you always could time the head coming back to hit it.
Yeah.
No, you can't. They've definitely improved that. So you have to really aim. I kind of go for the legs now and take them down and stomp them. That's what I thought was better.
Funny, you know when they got those ones behind that fencing area which comes crashing down. I shot one of them behind the fence.
Yeah.
But then when that next bit kicked in, he was alive again, so that didn't make any difference. I thought it would, but it didn't. And but yeah, no.
They definitely improved the UI. Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, if this goes well, then obviously the next one will be 4. But
I don't think 4 needs a remake though, but that's just me. I think 4 is perfect the way it is. Maybe the engine might make it look better, but it's no. What I found, as per usual, the shotgun is the gun to get in this demo. It just kills everything. It's definitely the best weapon. As in most Resident Evil games, I think the shotgun was always the main one to get. They had a kind of real 90s feel to it, I thought. For some reason, they had all these posters. I don't know, did you notice them on the wall with on the train station, kind of hinting to Sonic the Hedgehog or Sonic or to Mega Man and all the other Capcom games. It was a nice little touch.
I still like the rocket launcher though when you get that in the game. That's pretty good.
And there's 20 bobbleheads hidden around the demo as well, and you actually get an achievement or a platinum or a trophy if you collect them all.
Oh, do you? Okay.
When you get the full game, it unlocks. So there's 20 of them hidden around. So I got them both because that's my OCD again. No, the storytelling and the writing were okay. It wasn't top class. It's the usual kind of, I found.
It is a demo at the end of the day as well.
Yeah.
So it's not going to give you the full thing as it is. It's just a slice, isn't it?
It's very kind of. It was just kind of like generic writing, really. But overall, I'm excited to get it. I'm getting this. I'm going to finish Doom. Well, I said I am. At the moment, I'm not gaming, but I'm going to finish Doom and then trade that for Res Evil. The plan. I'm not a Final Fantasy VII guy, even though I probably will get it when it goes cheap. I'm not.
Yeah, and remember, this is a third of the game because it's going to be in 3 parts.
Yeah. So, like, it could be, by all accounts, it could be on PlayStation 6 by the time they finish making that one, if we're all around to see it. And they're the 2 games I'm playing at the moment. There was a game given away free on the iPhone. It's out years ago. Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery, if you want to have a look at it. And they actually give the EP, the album, away as well, free on the iPhone. It's a really good little game to play on the iPhone. It's free. It's out for a while. I've been playing that. That's it. Nothing major, lads. Just small stuff, Your next head there.
Okay, so I've been pretty much exclusively this week playing Destiny 2 because it's been, obviously, the new season's been released. In terms of what I've done, I've managed to get up to level 33 on the season pass so far, which has been a bit of hammering on that. The bunker that's on the EDZ, I actually have got up to level 3, and I think I've got about 2 bits left to unlock on there. I did do the level 1000 Nightmare sector with Dave and Craig on the PC. That was not as tough as I thought it was going to be. I went in that on my own, and it was just completely undoable on your own.
I tried that and went by. I might try it on my own when I hit 1000. I mean, what's your level at the moment? You must be up there.
991.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at the moment, because I got the Outbit perfected, and I forgot the name of the exotic sniper rifle, but I got that one as well.
Wish Ender.
Yes. Yeah, that one. Also, been doing some of the new public events that are on the planets as well, because I don't know whether or not you've tried the ones on the other planets, but some of those are working as well.
Yeah,
Steve?
On the moon you've got the you've got the same as you've got on the EDZ with it's linked to the bunker, but I've not seen anyone been there when I've been around there yet.
Yeah, the bunker on the moon doesn't get opened until the 24th of March, so we've got another couple of days, and it'll be reset time when they do that, because I think it's 3 p.m. Pacific time or 3 a.m. Pacific time. I can't remember.
Possibly, yeah.
But yeah,
did you want to bring in? There's a question, isn't there?
It's not until Tuesday that we actually get to be able to go into the moon bunker.
Yeah. Did you want to bring that question about Destiny while we're talking about it? If it's better to do that.
Do you want to? Which one was? Who was it? Who asked that one?
I haven't got it up at the moment, but it was. I want to know what weapons we were rocking with.
Oh yeah, Craig Cole asks. He wanted to know what's our favourite weapon, main, secondary, and heavy. What's been your favourite quest line, and can you remember your favourite Destiny moment? And which is your favourite activity, or which is on the top of your bucket list on Destiny?
Yeah, I mean, going way back, I think when we were doing one of the raids I was in, and I did it once, and I got this. I can't remember the name of the weapon now. It was a weird shaped design, looked like a big coil underneath the way you were supposed to carry it.
Hello?
Am I there or not?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, you're here. Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. There was one weapon back in the day that I really can't remember its name at the moment because I haven't looked it up. That I got the drop straight off the back, like Bungie used to give me everything, for free every drop I got on the exotics back in the day there. But it's funny. I've been using the Ether Doctor at the moment, and I didn't realize how good this weapon is. It's an auto rifle, and if you slide, it will reload your weapon for you. And if you give melee kills, it will then put ammo into your other parts of your weapons if there's no ammo in there.
Yeah.
So really, been using that a lot. That dropped at 981, which I'm using at the minute. And so that's working really well. And then I've been bouncing around with the Surus regime as a secondary because going on the on the Crucible with it works really well, to be honest.
Yeah.
And the 21% delirium is what I'm rocking with as well. that seems to do a lot of damage at the moment.
I unlocked the 21% delirium 2 days ago, actually.
Right.
Finally managed to get it done. And that is an immense heavy machine gun because it just shoots so many bullets.
Because the lightning goes out.
180 bullets, isn't it?
Anything around you as well, the lightning will just grab anything with you. So
yeah,
it really does a lot of damage. And using that when we were doing the run for the Perfected, I was using that, and obviously it's bugged as we know, but blimey, that just was eating it all up really well. So
I have to admit, my favourite in Destiny 2 is definitely the Risk Runner. I use that so many times because all you need is one shot of arc to hit you, and then it charges your gun with arc energy, and it spikes and it kills loads of stuff. We were struggling to get through, and then I swapped over to the Risk Runner, and you just end up being like a plough. The lower level enemies that just are shooting masses at you. You just clear them out so quickly.
Doing the one for the Perfected, the Risk Runner was everyone was saying that was the one you should use more, and it was really working well for that run, for that gun, and thoroughly enjoyed it. I must admit, it was good fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Mark doesn't play. I was going to say, Mark doesn't play Destiny, do you, mate? You just play Call of Duty.
Yeah. I tried the first one. I played the first one for a while, but I didn't get into it.
Yeah,
I'm not. I can't always keep hammering a game to get my levels up, and it's also getting the right people with you when you're in the game. It's much better when you have got a group.
Oh yeah,
than doing it on your own, isn't it? And that was, I think,
definitely.
it.
Even though me and Hayden never play anymore, you do know that, Mark. It's terrible, isn't it?
No, we don't actually, because I've migrated over to PC playing it, and Steve's never on. So.
See, I'm on the Xbox or the PlayStation, and because the PlayStation's in this room, so during the day at the moment, if I want to have a go, I can go on the PlayStation. Then when the missus goes to bed, I can go in the other room and I'll get on the Xbox in the late evening, sort of 10 o'clock-ish. That's how it works. So
because also you can transfer your character between the three now, between PC, Xbox, and PlayStation as a platform, which is a good move on Destiny. I think Bungie's part.
It's great. It's so much convenient for everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Mark.
Although my other 6 characters.
Yeah. Anyway, should we ask Mark what he's been playing?
Yeah, come on, Mark. What have you been playing?
Okay, well, obviously, I'm not going to go into loads about Call of Duty. It's really probably how, for some reason, my mindset for Call of Duty multiplayer has just totally changed. I don't know why. But say previously I have been so poor, and I'm normally lucky if I get to a level 50 and never get to elite. But for this reason, this one I've been, I say, revelation in it, and I've been having as much fun. I'm into the second season now, and nearly completed the game, the battle pass on that one. I think I'm up to 88 on there now. So, providing I level up one level a day, I'll get to the 100, and then whatever all the bonuses and that. But it's not just that; it's finding the guns. I perhaps looked into a bit more about changing how I fight and setting up the joysticks a lot better. I've got an Elite 2 as well.
Oh, I have as well. Yeah.
And I also changed how I move around the map. I normally had the jump and mental over the barriers just by pushing the B. But I've now been not taught, but just shown a better way of perhaps you clicking on the left and right joysticks and using that to jump up and mantle over. And that seems to be a bit easier because you're not taking so many fingers off the buttons. And I say last night or yesterday, I've never finished, I don't think, top of a game. Even though our team lost, I actually came top out of all the scores out of everyone. So I was well chuffed with that. But yeah, I'm just having such a good fun with that. And that's kept me from going into the other model that they released a couple of weeks ago now. Yeah. So I can't get dragged into that at all yet. So that will have to stay probably until I complete this season 2 and get that level and get the bonuses before I perhaps dab into that. So, but no, it's really good. It's just been, I don't know. I've got no idea what is different with this game, whether it's just the playability or whatever, but it's really, really good. So I've thoroughly enjoyed.
So which COD is it again? Do you say Modern Warfare or World War II that you play?
It's I don't play Modern Warfare, but I've had every single one that's been out.
Yeah,
so I've bought them all. And
have you tried the free to play yet on the battle? What they're doing with that?
No, that's the one that's kept me out of it because I've been enjoying the other standard multiplayer so much.
Yeah,
excellent.
So, but I do want to because I've heard good things about it.
By the time you get into the war zone, they'll be all professionals, and you won't have a chance.
But the thing was, I didn't jump into multiplayer until halfway through the first season anyway. So they were all being on it because I went through the campaign and I enjoyed the campaign. I actually started going through as reality. And got halfway through that, and then I sort of dabbed into the multiplayer, and I say I haven't looked back. So, but yeah, it's good, and that's all you want from a game, isn't it? One that keeps you start playing it and keep playing it, and not putting it down after. Then yeah. So
with all of the different versions, what are your guys' thoughts on which is the best Call of Duty? Because there's been loads of versions.
Well, I'm gonna go with the very first one that ever came out for the Xbox 360. Was Call of Duty 2.
Yeah,
right.
I remember
that
completing
was
that and getting the 1,000 points on that as well.
And I just thought, like, the jump up on graphics and just the jump up from the PlayStation, it was just so good, you know. But that still sticks with me. I have fierce fond memories with that one.
But I still like the Call of Duty Zombies, and I don't think you can beat a multiplayer. The one which I think was Call of Duty Black Ops 2, where you went round on the bus. That was just that was incredible. But there've been some good zombies ones with the one when you had the prison where you were going on there and you build the glider as well. So,
I quite liked the one in the fun park as well. That was good. That was with Infinite Warfare.
You want one where you got all the mannequins in the rooms and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I think that's probably the last one I played. I think.
But I will say this new single player is one of the best ones in years.
Yeah.
As I was talking around to Mark about it. I was the story. I was glued from start to finish, and the way they changed the characters to the kids, like we were talking about, and that section where you're going, and they're all kind of short chapters, really. I suppose we call them, but there's a lot goes on in the chapter, you know, and there's a lot going on around you. The sniper section where you got the convoy coming and you got to protect the convoy. It's a really good story, really good story. But I don't play multiplayer, so I can't account for that.
I do like, say, dishing out the packs free, and the only things they do charge are just really the ones to give you your costumes and other little things that if you want to pay for them, you can.
Okay.
But so I like the fact that they're not lumping on lots of other extras on there. The one little gripe is the fact that when you activate your XP doubles that you've got, they used to only run when you were in the multiplayer game. Now, the minute you activate it, it starts. So if you're 2-3 minutes, it's ticking down straight away. So you could probably lose as much playing the game as you are in the menus. So it would be nice if they could at least pause it while, you know, everything else is getting set up and then putting you back in, because you're surprised how much you can, you know, when you've done all your hard earned to get the hours XP extra added on, to end up losing probably 25% of it just sitting there looking at menus waiting for everyone to get sorted out. It's it's a little bit of a shame, but that's good anyway. So on the beta app for the Xbox, they've dishing out or asking you to play test a game called Totally Reliable Delivery Service.
Oh, I saw that come up.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
That's what I thought.
Is that actually real life? Because we've got to get deliveries to people that can't get their food.
Exactly. Well, it's all sorts. But do you remember that Man Fall Flat where you've got to try and get him round the map?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. And I gave up. I am not one of those where you're dealing with the bloke who's been out on the booze and he's smashed out his brains and trying to get him right. I got a bit too frustrated with it. I think I managed to do one delivery, and then I crashed my helicopter that I was trying into the sea, and then I landed on a can of a barrel of oil and blew up, and that did me. And I thought, no, I haven't got the patience to get to the controllers of that. But it was a play test, so I'm 90% certain it's not finished. But I thought I'd give it a try. But while I was looking for something different, I jumped onto the old train sim.
What do you think? Because everyone was taking the mick out of me for playing that.
I didn't think it was that bad. I went from I can't remember what. It must have been Paddington.
To Reading.
I went from Paddington to Slough. I didn't have time to get to Reading.
Yeah.
Not on my driving. I think it took me double the time. I shot it by a mile the first time, one of the stations, so I had to back up.
Yeah.
But I'm getting the hang of it, so it's something to
can't cheat
now and again.
You can't cheat in it as well, can you? Because there's a dead man switch.
Yeah.
So where if you let it just run and walk away, because you've got a couple of minutes to the next station, you let go of the control of the train will stop and it's game over. So,
Well, I was trying to make up time, shut the doors early, and started driving off, and it didn't want that. I had to go back.
oh really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
shut the door. It wouldn't let me progress on. I had to have it doors open for the full time.
Yeah. I mean, I did the complete run. I did it from Reading to Paddington and Paddington to Reading with a 125, and I know that line as because I used to go when I used to live in Twyford. I used to hop on there at that station and go to Langley from a college, and then obviously when I used to go to football a lot. I'd hop on at Twyford to go to Paddington, so I know that line like the back of my hand, and it's very well recreated, exactly as if you can actually sit on the train and do the run as a passenger, can't you?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you can. You can actually go as a passenger and sit in there and just sit on the train.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, I was when the very first train. Yeah, they had you going on there. Of course they do. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Steve's completely nerded out. He had his tartan, drinks flask and everything with it.
No, and when I got off at Twyford platform and I had to wander around, it is the station. It is,
yeah.
And ironically, when I went over, because the middle platform was the middle platform was coming from Paddington, going to Reading, and when you go up the stairs and turn left, and you go down the stairs onto the main road, which is the Hurst Road actually. And if you follow that road down, that would take you down to where I used to live. And when I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I'll tell you this, Mark. Years ago, when I was about 17, I've been drinking pretty heavily. And you know what you like as a teenager? You're just wasted, aren't you? And if you, honestly, do me a favour, go to Twyford Station and have a look at that flight of stairs. Because I jumped there as a teenager and landed on one foot.
Yeah.
Twisted my ankle and it went up like a tennis ball. And my mate had to carry me home, and I was off work for weeks because of that. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
yeah.
I was a little bastard on. Sorry if I'm allowed to say that word on trains, but I'm on about when I
Did
was.
You used to hop? Did you hop in and not pay for it? I did. Loads
13 and 14, 15, because I was at boarding school, and I used to. I was at a boarding school, and I used to occasionally do a runner and decide to go off. Well, one nice little story here. I think I was probably about 14, and I actually did pay for the ticket, but I bought it with all change that I got from my mum's, and bought this ticket at Audley End Station, which is near Cambridge.
Yeah.
And I bought this ticket with all this loose change. I got on the train and was looking out the window waiting for to move. So I was going down to Plymouth to see my brother. And while I was waiting for the train to leave the station, saw a police car come up to the station. And I knew they were coming for me. So I went right to the very end of the train and locked myself in the toilet and held the train up for 20 minutes while they had to force the lock off the train to get me out. And they took me to the station, locked me out, and eventually sort of said, right, where's your ticket, etc. And I said, well, I flushed it. I said, I wasn't going to give it to you lot. And I said, well, we checked at the station. They couldn't see it on there. I said, well, they don't release it on the train. I had it down my trousers, actually, in my pants. Yeah. And they took me back to Royston. I was at Royston school there. And
sort of
all
Royston
I did
Vague,
was,
is it?
I caught the train from Royston, went to King's Cross, and went down to Plymouth and saw my brother. Was down there for about 2 or 3 days. So right. I was a little son.
The things you do when you're younger, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know.
Just quickly, if you go to Maidenhead Station there, one year when I was first an apprentice working, and the first Christmas do, they just got me rat-arsed. And I had a pint of shots, which they just went through every shot on the pub. And then I drank it down in wine, and I was gone with the fairies and everything. And they tried to put me on the platform at Maidenhead on a station and leave me there.
Yeah.
And I was on the train, but they wouldn't wouldn't leave the station until they got me off when I was fighting to stay on for some reason. So that train got delayed because I couldn't get me off.
Oh,
crazy.
So that's our train sims exploits anyway.
Yeah.
So, but about 18, well, when I was in hospital the first time with my heart attack, my daughter said, "Oh, have you seen this?" And said about Jurassic Live, or Jurassic World Live is the correct title for it. And it's basically one of these like the Pokemon one, but you play it with dinosaurs.
Oh, okay.
And both me and my daughter are just very transfixed with dinosaurs. And ever since she put that on there, I'll perhaps exaggerate initially as daily, but pretty much now I am always going on there, tracking them down, and I say it's very, very hard to totally leave it alone. Always going back into it.
As you like dinosaurs, have you tried the Jurassic Park sim?
I have. I've got it on there. Yeah, I couldn't get into it as much with is it Jurassic World, isn't it? It's,
yeah.
Yeah. I found it again a bit too much, going over and over. It didn't seem initially for me to keep you involved in it. That's what I found, and I lost out of love with it. So, but I was hoping it would be a lot better than it is. But
it's had a few updates. I mean, I think Hayden did tell you I built a park and I had a monorail going around it and whatever.
Yeah.
But you can also get in the vehicles and ride them to the parks and to feed all the animals now, and that's sort of a different perspective view when you get in the little in the cars and stuff like that. But I think it was great. I mean, I need to go back to it because it's had a lot of updates.
To go back to it if they have done a lot, but I haven't played it. Oh, blimey! I would think probably a year and a half ago at least since I last went on there. So
yeah.
So another game, I haven't played it for a few weeks, but I love it because I'm a big music game, and say Rock Band. I've had all the Rock Bands since they started coming out on the Xbox, and I still buy all the not all of them, but all my favourite tracks when they're coming out on Rock Band 4. I'm always diving in and seeing what's come out, and that's a game called Drop Mix. And I don't know if any of you have heard it, seen it, played it.
No,
I don't think I know that one.
Drop Mix is it?
Yeah, Drop Mix. Basically, you buy it's a large, almost it looks like a keyboard, but basically what it is, it's you play cards on it, and it's done with QR codes on these cards, and all of these cards all come in different themes and sets, etc., and they have samples of original songs. Could be certain parts of the songs, guitars, drums, vocals, the lot are all embedded into these cards, and they do loads and loads of different packs, and you get 5 different slots on these box, and you can play with up to 4 people on there. You put your phone in there. I've got it connected so mine comes out on my TV and through on my hi-fi as well. And you make your own mixes, and you build up points as well, and you can do some excellent mixes with it. It is just a mixing game, and you can either go for lots of points, or you're competing against your players to rack up points, and it's very it's very now blimey, come on, what's the word? It's addictive. That's the word.
Okay.
Because
I'm watching a video here, but it looks very good actually. It's like a card game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it connects to your phone goes into the side of it and everything.
That's it. Yeah. Well, because I've got an iPhone, mine then mirrors it to my Apple
good idea.
TV. Comes out through my Dolby Atmos app and my TV, and it's really, really good. I'll have to say, I've got a couple of mixes on one of my phones, but they've got loads of packs as well, from pop to rap to, there's loads of cards, and I've even bought a few from the US as well, because they have a few different ones, and actually the prices for the cards seem to have dropped a bit in the States as well now.
I've never even seen this product at all anywhere.
It's came out probably about 3 years ago, and the minute I saw it, I thought, because I say I am an avid music game, and yeah, it just.
Where did you pick it up? Where did you pick it up?
I got it from Amazon.
I'm actually interested. What price was it? Did you get a good price in it, or?
I think when I initially bought it, I think we got the game, and I think we got 2 or 3 packs. It was a Christmas present, so but I think it was about 70. And the packs now you can get about £15 for a complete pack of cards, but they do have a good selection, all sorts of music, from anything.
In a matter of fact, I'm just having a look at it on Amazon at the moment. You can get 4 packs of cards and the keyboard sort of thing that you get with it for $23.99.
Yeah, it really is good fun.
I might look into that actually. For when we're closed up here with the girls, it'd be good fun, I think.
I might have a look at that as well, because that's the type of thing that my son would love.
It looks like one of those kind of things you used to get, like with the guitars and stuff that connect your Xbox and stuff, doesn't it? That kind of feel about it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is it solid? Is it a solid piece of kit?
Yeah, bloody hell, really solid. Very, very good. Very good. No sweat to set. And the app that comes with it, it tracks all your cards. So although it comes in collections, once you start to build up collections, you can then, it will help you make your own packs. So you can mix them all up, and it tells you, because each card has a level of 1, 2, and 3. So when you're putting your cards down, you can't put a number 1 on top of a number 2 card. So it has to be a higher level or the same level. And then some of each section is broken into vocals, and then it might be drums and guitars, and then there might be a drums only, and they're broken in, so you can only put your cards in the certain groups. And it's I think if you like your music and you like playing around, and the nice thing is that every time you pick up all the cards again, put them down again, and it will be a totally different tune each time, and you can just jam and make your own songs anyway, regardless. You don't have to be it a competitive game at the time. You can just play around and put whatever you want on there. But I must have. Go on.
I was going to say, do you know, does it do both iOS and Android, or is it?
Yes, it's both. No, it's not only. It's whatever you've got for your phone. So it is on Android and iOS. So
that's really good.
It is. There's some good videos on there as well. I can't believe it didn't get as popular as it did. I ended up getting all the sleeves as well, because I didn't want to risk getting my my cards all dog-eared, etc. So you can get all these playing card sleeves to put them in there. Yeah, I just got a load of them. So, but as I say, such a wide choice of music on it as well. Anything you could have managed, I would think.
I think you've sold me. I probably won't be able to get delivered at the moment, but as soon as I can, I think I'll pick it up.
Yeah, I'll dig one. I'll send it out, and then if you want to shove it, if you can, on your podcast, I was going to add. You might want to see what they think of it. It's one of the first ones I did.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have to admit, I've just.
And they don't mind you sharing it.
You ordered it.
Yeah. Just a quick question: Is Amazon Prime stopped doing 1-day deliveries now, by any chance?
Yeah,
they have. Yeah, because of all the stuff going on. Yeah.
They're saying Thursday at the earliest.
Yeah.
My Blu-ray's coming tomorrow. It said so, but
I've
had it on pre-order.
Yeah, I've got some stuff pre-ordered, and I think I've got Shivers coming, I think, in a couple of days. But
going back, that they encourage you to do your mixes, and they make it easy for you to. You can either share just the music, or you can share the actual video of it going down as well. So they're all very happy for you to share your musics amongst everyone. So it's a good game.
Oh, it's really cool. Thanks for that, Matt, because my son loves doing anything music-wise, so I can just imagine that'll be right up his street.
I would, yeah.
I've ordered it. I've ordered it. So. Literally, while you were talking, I thought, I'm sold on this.
You're not working a commission, Mark, are you?
Oh, and
I got it for $19.99 on Amazon.
That's a very good price for that. Wow.
Yeah, and if you look on .com Amazon, you'll find when you buy the series, you want to make sure, because they did like a series 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're the ones that you do have to be careful, because those aren't complete. You have to buy the 4, I think it is, that come in those series, but you can get those separately. The ones that you want that are complete are the ones that have actually got a complete, like it will be called pop or Ouroboros or rap. They're the ones that you want to go for, because they are complete sets straight away.
Yeah, because looking at here, they've got like Muso DJ, Hollywood and Walker music, that a big box full of them.
Yeah. You want the ones that are complete sets. I say you get they're called, I say, sweets, pop. I'll look through and send you a list of some of the complete sets, and they're the ones that you will get a complete. I think it's 15 songs or clips in each set, and that's what you want.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant, because
there's a good little mix of Doctor Who in one of them as well. They did a special mix, tiny little clip of Doctor Who, really good.
That's Alan sold then, isn't it, Alan?
Yeah, that's me definitely sold. Yeah,
I'll have to do a little mix with Doctor Who in it then. I'll rip it out tomorrow and send it then.
You should put it on there as an end bit of music in the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's nothing to stop you putting a different one each week or whatever.
Well, we could maybe have a new section of our musical creations on this.
There you go. See, I started some. That's my. I've actually trademarked it.
You need to copyright that, yeah, Mark.
Yeah.
Copyright Gnats. Gnats and Co. Gnats Inc.
So that was worth buying a couple of skis up there every day to get a game for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. Okay, any more Gnats? Or...
No, that'll do. Yeah.
All right. In that case, then we'll move on to movies, TV, and streaming. Okay, so movies, TV, and streaming, and we're not going to be able to do cinema releases because there's no cinema releases at the moment. In a matter of fact, I've had a look forward and they're cancelled to the earliest, the 10th of April, so I think that's going to go even further forward, because I can't see the cinemas opening up in the next month.
You'd have to change it to on-demand releases now, I think.
We might well do. Just in a bit of news, one thing that has come up is Kenny Rogers died.
Yeah.
Yeah, bless him.
Yeah, legend of a singer, you know. I mean, I got into Kenny Rogers years ago because my dad was into it. So, you always sort of like take on your dad's sort of like music tastes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a legend of a singer. Such a shame.
But when he passed away, was the first thing went into your head, was it the coronavirus?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I mean, it's funny at times.
It did quickly say that the first line was saying this was not related, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the first thing you think of now of a certain age of a person. Was it the virus got them or not? Like, it's sad. God. But yeah. Great artist. It's a massive loss.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, in terms of Blu-ray DVD releases, there's a few. There's Casino Royale 4K, Cobra Series 1 DVD and Blu-ray, Hammer Volume 5, Death and Deceit, limited edition Blu-ray, Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts, Wizarding 10 film collection. On Blu-ray, we got Heart of the Dragon, again Blu-ray Le Mans 66, Quantum of Solace 4K, Skyfall 4K, Spectre 4K, Star Blazers, Space Battleship Yamato 2199, the complete series on DVD and Blu-ray.
I have that, yeah.
Yeah,
And also,
go on.
sorry, go on. No, go on.
I was going to say I'm waiting for Le Mans to turn up tomorrow, so that's on my. Hopefully, I get to watch that tomorrow. The Bond, I'm a massive Bond one, and when I don't know if you remember the big box set of when they first came out on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I got those as a Christmas present.
Nice.
That was when Skyfall came. So
is that's the one with that's in like 2 books, isn't it?
Yeah.
With Blu-rays. Yeah, I've got that
Nice.
collection as well.
And I'm waiting. I won't buy them. I want is it a complete 4K set?
Yeah.
That cost a fortune.
Yeah, it cost a fortune.
But so that's my. And the other one I've been waiting for is the Harry Potter, just to drop down a bit more, the 4K version of the Harry Potters. Yeah. I nearly bought them on Apple, but I'm not quite sure they've done enough on the sound to. I don't think they might have done a decent box set of the 4K on Blu-ray either. It seems a bit plasticky, and the covers that they put them in sound a bit naff for the 4K, and I think they should give it a better presentation than what they seem to have done from what I've read on the reviews. That's what put me up.
Do you have a dedicated 4K player you're using, Mark?
Oh yes, yeah.
I was wondering, are you big into it? Like you have a proper?
Yeah, I've got Atmos a lot. So
yeah, because you've got the same speakers as I, haven't you? The upward shooting ones. Yeah.
I've got my nice addition to my surround sound is my PV1 B&W subwoofer, which is just the best blue subwoofer I've had. It's incredible. It's stunning. So,
which amp have you got for or receiver have you got?
I got a Pioneer, and the name I can't think what it is at the moment. I need to. I think it's a 501 LX 501. It might be that I got from my because it had to be. It's an LX 501 SC LX 501.
Any particular reason why you went for Pioneer?
Yeah, I've been hooked on Pioneer for years, and it just fitted with what I wanted. I knew what I wanted from it. I also wanted Skyfire Link as well, which allows you to do what you do with because I like pushing my music all around the house. Yeah, and I bought a satellite speaker. That was a birthday present actually. That sits in the living room, and I can link that into the amp. So I don't like to have too many different things. So if I'm playing on the amp, I want to be able to listen to that in the kitchen as well, and not have to have it on something different. So that firewall wire works quite well. So we're looking to get another one upstairs at some point so that we can have it. We'd love pushing our music all around the house. So
nice.
Yeah, cool. Very good.
I keep it personally, because I think some people just don't want to hear music like I do, and I just stick it in my own room, and I'm away. I'm in, away with the fairies, sort of thing,
that's we're lucky. We've both got my fiance, I should say, is actually we've got very similar tastes in music, and I've got my, a little Bose Revolve Plus.
Yeah,
we take out in the garden as well. Sometimes I let it if we're out in the garage, or we even take it on holiday with us. If we're away, we take that with us. So we've got to take music everywhere we go. I even took it on bleeding holiday for us when we were in Turkey and that. So we take anywhere.
Yeah, I always say, I mean, she listens more to the radio these days. But if I'm going to pick up some old stuff that she might listen to, be fine. When I drag her to a concert every now and then. Not that we're going in April because
Cancel,
the BIC is now shut down until the 26th of April.
Wow.
Yeah.
So my concert with Simple Minds is not going to happen yet. I don't know when they're going to push it. So.
Go on.
I was going to see Francis Rossi, which has been cancelled. An evening with him, and I'm waiting for the Pet Shop Boys to be cancelled now as well.
We saw Pet Shop Boys when they had the Electric album came out.
Yeah,
we went to see them. That was good.
Is that a year ago?
Oh no, yeah, I think it's about three. No, actually, that's one of the first concerts I went with my existing lady. We went to.
I think I saw Pet Shop Boys about a year and a half ago. Last time they came to Bournemouth.
That's good. But we're going, provided it doesn't get cancelled. 6th of June, Adam Lambert and Queen. That was a Christmas present. And I'm so Adam Lambert. Bloody hell.
Thing is, I'm very concerned about now because I usually book quite a few in advance.
Yeah.
And not knowing the situation at the minute, I'm probably going to hold off. Although I've got one booked for October.
Yeah.
And I've already paid for the hotel as well, but I'm sure the hotel will honour it back anyway if need be because of the situation.
Yeah.
And then I've got something booked for next year in April, but it's unfortunate that these big arenas with all these people in the same spot is not going to be.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Well, I'm waiting for the Pet Shop Boys to be cancelled. I can't see that's going to go ahead beginning of June.
No, I couldn't see that.
No, that's why I think we're going to lose out on. We shit out on Janet Jackson. We were going to see a couple of years ago, and she got pregnant.
Very inconsiderate of her.
It is totally.
Well, I planned to go and see the next lot of Queen, after the Kind of Magic tour, and then Freddie Mercury went and died. But
I was benefiting.
Just did that to spite.
I saw him do the Works tour. That was good.
Oh God!
I know. Bloody hell! I saw some star artists.
Okay, just say Alan's just. He's got to go, I know. So, Alan, thanks for joining us.
No, I'll keep what I was watching. Mark, it's been a pleasure talking to you. It really has.
I hope we will carry on.
Yeah.
No, we'll meet up, I'm sure.
Yeah, I will. I'll make more of an effort to chat, on Twitter and Facebook and stuff. Sorry, lads, I just have to go. It's just that it's nearly 9 now and I've been up here. My daughter needs to come to bed, I'd say. So, I'll chat to you later. I'll talk to you later, boys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, okay. Nice to speak to you.
See you later.
You too, Mark. Mind yourself, lad. Yeah, take care of yourself.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye. Okay, Matt. So, sorry, you were saying.
Oh, well, Adam Lambert or Queen. Yeah, seeing the Works tour. Yeah, that was when they had the Metropolis stage show with the two big cogs on either side of the stage. But that was their amazing group. They were, weren't they?
Yeah. Oh, they're absolute best.
Yeah. So yeah, very good.
Yeah.
I'm interested in. Well, I've seen the film that you see there. You said you've been watching. We saw that at the cinema twice, and then
Bohemian Rhapsody.
And no, I'm on about the one after that. That we saw both of them as well.
Yeah, it's what I'm going to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
So okay, there was one other movie that's actually going to be released, The Money Pit, as well. That's a Tom Hanks one, isn't it?
Long time, yeah.
Yeah, that's a classic. So that's coming out on Blu-ray DVD again. So I think I might catch it this time because I've never got that movie before.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I've seen it, but I've not ever bought it.
It's still on Netflix if you ever want to catch it. Anyone?
Oh yeah, yeah, but you know what it's like. You've got to catch them all and have them in your collection.
Yeah, I was going to say, could you post I've got nearly 750 films on my collection at the moment, Blu-rays and 4K now. So if you want to I've shoved a link on somewhere that if you want to just let people have a peruse through my weird selection of films.
Yeah, sure. I'll stick that on the Facebook group and that, so that no problem. Anyway, so cinema charts this week. I think this will probably be about the last week that we'll get these for a while. We've got number 5, Military Wives, number 4, Bloodshot, number 3, The Hunt, number 2, The Invisible Man, and number 1, Onward. which is a Walt Disney movie. So that'll no doubt be coming to Disney Plus this week or very soon, I would have thought, because they'll be wanting to get, well, some functionality out of that movie, won't they? Steve, do you want to do the Blu-ray chart?
Yeah, so we have Zombieland Double Tap at number 5. We have Joker at 4, Terminator Dark Fate at 3, Doctor Sleep at 2, and Midway at number 1.
Yeah, and evidently Midway is terrible.
Is it really?
Oh,
Yeah, Alan was
I
saying-
enjoyed it, actually.
Oh, right. Alan
It's
is very
all
definite
each
views
in
on
person.
stuff.
No, I always think... you know,
Each to your
it's
own,
very-
really, though, with what you like.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we have all our weird and wonderful tastes.
Yeah, that's right. If we all like the same.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same. It would be boring, wouldn't it? And we wouldn't be
Yeah.
doing podcasts and stuff like that, talking about this sort of stuff. Okay, Steve, do you want to say what you've been watching?
Excuse me. Yeah, so I thought I'd dive into my Arrow collection this week, and being it's probably it's probably on the mark and a bit too close for comfort, but I watched The Crazies, and this was in 1973 by George A. Romeo,
Yeah.
and it's about a military attempt to contain a man-made combated virus that causes death and permanent insanity to those infected, and tries to overtake this small town in Pennsylvania.
So don't tell me it's the Andromeda strain planned for next week, is it?
Yeah. Honestly, it's an old movie. I really enjoyed it. There was an actress in that was in Rabid, the original of that. And there's also a guy in it that I noticed that was in Dawn of the Dead with George Romeo as well. But these sort of films I just love. I just love to sit and watch them, and it was quite enjoyable, but a little bit too close for comfort with what's going on at the minute.
Yeah.
But
Is that your sort of genre, Nat?
I will give most things a go. So I never dish anything. I'll give anything a try.
Do you know of the company Arrow? What they bring out?
Arrow?
Yes.
Yes, they do classic movies, don't they?
Well, they do new ones as well, because
Yeah.
For example, Daniel Isn't Real was released at the cinema a few weeks ago,
Oh yeah.
and they brought it out on Blu-ray at the same time.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that got a double whammy release. I haven't actually sat and watched it because that is in my collection now. But there's some great. They've got a huge collection of weird and wonderful horror movies, to sci-fi and all sorts. I just love them. They're really good.
Yeah.
Really up my street. I mean, one of the latest ones came out was a special edition of RoboCop.
Yes, I have seen that. That's it, because I tend to have a Blu-ray shopping list on Amazon, and games that I've got my eye on, I tend to tap on there, and they'll either get farmed out for presents and that, or I'll just get it.
Yeah. You know, because what they normally do is every month they'll bring about 4 or 5 releases out.
Yeah.
And some of those will be like a box set special. Like they did the same with American Werewolf in London. And they do these 4K restorations on them as well.
Right.
Even though they're Blu-ray, but they've given them the treatment, and then they add extra documentaries as well, which makes it a lovely package.
Yeah.
And I think their version, they brought the thing out from John Carpenter quite a while ago, and on there they did a documentary, and it's well worth watching. I've got the thing as a Warner distribution version of Blu-ray. But their version is well worth picking up because of the documentary on it.
Right.
You know, so there's a lot of stuff like that that they got. What I'll do, Nats, if you want, I'll give you a screenshot of all my Arrow collection. There's some real horror, because I do love my horror on this. So some of them were video nasties back in the day as well. If you remember that.
Excuse me, you're talking to one of the original people who actually went to the cinema to see American Werewolf.
Yeah, same as myself. I did as well. Yeah, and I've got zombie flesh eaters and all sorts.
I used to have a copy of Driller Killer on video. God dear, I used to work in a video shop, so they took it off, but I sort of grabbed hold of that.
Yeah, well, if you, I don't know about Hayden knows about this, but subscribe to Shudder,
Mm-hmm.
and you can subscribe to that via the Amazon Prime sort of
Right.
setup. Because so when you go into Amazon Prime, there's other subscriptions you can go for,
Yeah.
and Shudder does a lot of the horror stuff and weird and wonderful stuff, and Driller Killer's in that list to watch
Right.
on that. So they do, like, if you fancy looking, they do like a week for free.
Oh, yeah.
So you can subscribe for a week and just check out what you want to check out if you like, So that's always worth doing. The other, before I go into the other film I watched, as you know, Hayden, I was a Kickstarter in the In Search of Darkness horror documentary.
Yes, you were.
And one I didn't know about, because at the time they did one called In the Search of the Last Action Hero.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that on Amazon, on Amazon Prime.
Oh, cool.
And what I thought I'd do is I thought it was a Kickstarter originally, so you can rent it, or the worst case, you can buy it for $9.99. So I bought a copy of it, and it's a 2-hour indulgent in everything 80s action movies. And it's a pleasure to watch. They have different directors like Paul Verhoeven, who did obviously Total Recall, RoboCop. They have writers, directors, actors, actresses, all diving in on their love for these 80s movies that we come to love so well. So if you're into documentaries and that's well worth a look at.
Thinking of all of that as well, I don't know whether or not you're aware, but the Deep Space Nine documentary
I already
is
purchased
now
that.
streaming for free on Tubi.
Yeah, I purchased that on Amazon Prime.
Right.
I bought that one. Yeah, and that is a very good documentary as well, worth a look.
Yeah.
Very, very well put together. Probably one of the better ones as well over the years. The other movie I watched before I went ill, which the last one I watched with the family, was Doctor Sleep. And being a huge fan of
was the what? Sorry.
Doctor Sleep.
All right. Yeah.
So being a huge fan of The Shining, I was really looking forward to seeing this. So I got the 4K bundle.
Are you disappointed in one thing?
Go on, tell me what.
The extended version is Blu-ray and not 4K.
I know. I haven't watched, because I had the family watching it. I thought I'll put the 4K version in for now, and we'll watch that. And then when I get time to myself, I'll put the Blu-ray. Now maybe that didn't get a print. Maybe that's the reason why.
Yeah, I presume. Yeah, it's a shame though, isn't it?
It is, but it's 3 hours long, isn't it? It's an extra half an hour.
Yeah.
So I can imagine there's a lot more screen time with the person that plays Jack Nicholson character in it. I did actually enjoy the movie, really did.
Yes, I did. Really dark.
Oh God, yeah. And some of the kid. It is a spoiler, I suppose. If you don't want to know, just shut up, turn off for a couple of minutes. The killing of the boy with the bait from the baseball bat team.
Yeah,
that was awful. It was awful. That in a way that it was the poor child what he went through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I know in the film, because I did watch the other extras on it. I mean, he had a great time doing it. But some of the actors and actresses, they had it sort of bit on the knuckle for them, apparently.
Well, it would do, wouldn't it? I think it would.
Strapping him down and doing what they did to him, The recreation of the hotel is superb.
Yeah.
I think, it's funny that...
The whole thing is good.
Oh, it is. The woman that played Jack Nicholson's wife in this part in the beginning, she had that voice down to a T.
Yeah.
I think if I closed my eyes, I thought that would have been her playing that role. And the way that they put the film together, how it goes from end to end, it's superb. It's one I'll definitely watch again, but I will definitely want to sit there and sit for the 3-hour version to see those extra scenes. Yeah. I think there's more scenes probably in the Overlook Hotel. Because the way it was cut, I just felt there might have been more there. So
sure.
But obviously the leading actress in it as well, I do like her. What was her name now? Rebecca Ferguson, that's it. Because she's in the Mission Impossible movies in the last couple.
Oh, yeah.
She played a good role as the leader of this cult group that were preying on children with the powers.
Yeah.
So thoroughly enjoyed it. I think if anyone wants something to watch, I it's as creepy as hell, and I think it does get under your skin a little bit. Worth it. Have you seen it, Hayden, yet? Is that got your cup of tea or not?
No, it's been years since I've seen The Shinings, but it is on my to watch list. But I think I'm just going to wait until it appears either on Amazon Prime or Netflix. It's not one I'm going to be in a rush to see.
Well, I purchased them both on 4K, and they're actually the 4K of The Shining's superb. It's a really lovely print on that.
Yeah.
And have you got that as well, Gnats?
Oh, blimey, yeah.
It's fantastic. It's really one of my favourites I've picked up on 4K. I mean, I've actually got the Terminator Dark Fate to watch yet. I've not been down that route yet.
Same. I've got the first 4 in the chart. I haven't got Zombieland yet.
Yeah.
On double tap. I
want to see that. I almost bought it today, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if it's what I'd like to purchase. I mean, there's a couple. I mean, Midsummer's just come out on Amazon Prime. So I really want to see that film. That's very good. But I've still got to watch. If I look up, because I've not seen any of the John Wicks.
I've got all 3. They are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I love those. And they're doing a 4th.
Yeah, I've got the 4K box set.
Yeah,
with all 3 in.
I bought them individually. There.
Thinking of the John Wicks. Do you know what the theory is in terms of John Wick?
Oh, linking to
the Matrix.
Yeah.
That Neo is actually living the life of John Wick in the Matrix.
Crazy.
Yeah, seriously, that's an online theory.
Because they're both coming out the same year, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Well, there might be
sequels.
As long as we haven't all died of corona.
Yeah. Because I've still got Rambo: Last Blood to watch on 4K. Yeah, even though I saw it at the cinema.
Yeah.
I want to go back on that, and I haven't watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood yet, which I need to watch.
I can recommend another 4K.
Go on.
Braveheart.
Really?
Quality of that is stunning. For the sound and the picture quality, they have done a really good. Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel some 4K prints don't come out as well as they do.
No.
It's sometimes better to watch the Blu-ray version upscaled on a 4K player.
Definitely. I thought I was blown away with it. I loved it.
Yeah. No, it's not
I got that Deer Hunter as well when HMV were dying.
You thought they were, yeah.
Yeah, I got the 40th anniversary edition.
Oh, okay.
So
because apparently, I mean, I don't know if it was it. I don't think I've seen that, but apparently I heard if it's right that I got the Highlanders had a bit of a Rough Riders prints go.
Highlander,
yeah. And I'm not sure. There's not a 4K out yet, I don't think, but. The Blu-ray I've got is a bit of a poorer print than the DVD apparently. So they do have a bit of. I mean, I don't know how they press it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, no, I tend to go to Blu-ray High Def, who High Def Digest. That's the company I tend to. When I don't know if you remember the bloke I did with White Noise with. He used to work on that.
Yes.
And that gave some good reviews, good reviews, and
there's a guy,
honest about.
There's a guy on Twitter I follow called Bill Hunt, and he does 4K reviews. So I always tap him up because after talking to him recently, we've got Jaws 4K coming out this year. Okay, we've got the Blues Brothers coming out this year. So there's 2 that'll be on my list, definitely. And when I heard that Jaws is actually going to get a 4K print, I nearly fell over because the 30th anniversary edition of that on Blu-ray, where they cleaned the print up, is pretty good as it is.
Yeah.
So whether they can actually, I think it's probably more for its anniversary, and then I think next year, I think it's next year's anniversary for Raiders. They're going to do a 4K box set.
I want bloody The Abyss.
That's
and-
still that's been talked about for ages now.
know.
That it's
yeah,
apparently they're
along with True
working on it.
Lies.
Yeah, they're still working on it apparently.
It's about time that True Lies was actually just released on Blu-ray, let alone 4K.
Well, that's the same as Pink Floyd, The Wall, because that's one of my favourite musical film.
Yeah.
Great film.
Yeah.
And there is rumours going about of a possible 4K version of Star Trek: The Motion Picture, the director's cut, isn't there?
Well, yeah. What happened? I was listening to the Inglorious Treksperts podcast, and they were talking about. Obviously, you know, Hayden, the director's cut came out on DVD, but they were asking if people really wanted people to shout about it on Twitter.
Yeah.
And apparently it is in the works. I don't know about a release for it, but I mean, I don't like the idea of this digital 4K releases. I think they should be bringing them out. If they do that, they should be bringing them on disc as well.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
often because on Apple, I think there's a 4K version of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. I think so. I've heard, but I still can't say that would be good as throwing a disc in.
No, definitely not.
No,
You know
they're
what I mean?
upscaled versions. And to be honest, I never think that streaming 4K is anywhere near as good quality as a 4K
no,
Blu-ray.
not at all. Not at all. No, totally agree.
Yeah, but
Guess
Kev was
what?
talking
One of my prize given at Christmas, I got the Monty Python Blu-ray box set.
What for the TV show or?
Yeah, all all 4 TV series with all notes in there, extras, extended, the lot.
God.
It's I've just it's on a group called Network.
I know
they
them.
do lots of old TV series, and yeah, it's a really nicely put together box set.
Yeah, funny you should say that because I had something sent to me came yesterday, and I'm a big fan of Jerry Anderson, and obviously Hayden is as well.
Yeah,
and there's a documentary that came out. I think it was on Sky for a little while, and it disappeared. It's just gone on. It's just gone onto Amazon. But I've ordered I've got it now. I've got the Blu-ray of excuse me, filmed in Super Mario Nation.
Yeah,
which chronicles from the beginning, from the start of Jerry Anderson's career, with all the puppetry that went on. And that arrived in the post just the other day as well, which I picked up from. But that's on the network. That came on the network one as well.
Yeah,
and it's brilliant because I didn't know it comes with an extra disc, and that extra disc is got 5 episodes and all the sort of the what would you call it? The pilot episodes that came out. So you got the pilot episode of Stingray.
wow.
Captain Scarlet. They got an episode of the Thunderbirds. There's an episode of one of the older black and white ones. I can't remember what it's called. But also one that I watched that didn't last very long on TV. It was called Secret Service.
Right.
Which is about a priest that shrinks down to puppet size to be a private investigator. So I don't know if you ever saw that as a kid.
No.
Yeah, and the guy that played the guy that plays the in real life it goes from adult to the puppets, but the guy that plays the priest. Do you remember there was a scientist guy that used to talk like wibbly wobbly all the time with the way his words were, and he used to say it backwards and forwards?
Yes.
Do you remember?
He made his own language up, didn't he?
He did. Yeah.
That was English words, but used in different context.
That's it. But it's him who's the voice for it, and he's obviously used him for the adult scenes when they see the house. And then when he shrinks down, you see this little car with the puppets, you know, as you see them in Thunderbirds, everything else, zooming around on live action on the main road. It's pretty mental, to be honest, but I love the Super Mario Nation, and they've even got some later stuff where they redid some of the special effects, show you how that's all done, especially with how Thunderbirds worked, with the backdrop moving at one's pace and the floor moving at a faster pace to give you the realism of them flying. Really, really good. Really enjoyed that, and that is actually on Amazon Prime at the moment, so free to play. So if you like that sort of stuff, go for it.
Cool.
And you haven't nattered too long. Do you want to? Someone else want to dig in?
Yeah, Nats, do you want to tell us what you've been watching?
Yeah, we have well, my partner and a couple of friends, we have a movie club, and every 2 weeks we choose a film, and each we have a genre, and the last one that we've been working through, which has actually been quite God knows how they put this genre in there. It had to be the actor or actress Jennifer, first name was Jennifer, and that was tough. I ended up choosing Peppermint, and this week it was 13 going on 30, which was Jennifer Garner, I think it was.
Yes, I know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm quite lucky that I was asleep within about 10 minutes and woke up more or less as it was finished. So I got out of that one.
Jennifer Garner isn't bad. I've seen it in some other films. But...
No, yeah, it wasn't really. It was tough. That was a really tough one. But we've had some good ones. We've had pirates, and we've had comedy and action. So we're getting through them. But next, we decided we're having an open one this time. So then it's my first choice this time.
So
but yeah, we just.
Do you do a choice then? So if you say Jennifer, who makes a choice for the film? Or do you watch like 3 movies or?
No, everyone then gets a movie to choose with Jennifer in it.
What, the title or the actress?
Actress. So
I could think of another. Yeah. I would have thought actually Passengers would have been a good movie, which I've got in 4K.
Yeah, I think so. I always tried to be a little bit off the wall. So when it came to comedy, I went to Men Stare at Goats.
Yeah.
And that didn't go down at all well with them. They didn't think it was that funny. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, I like that one as well.
Yeah, I got slagged off somewhat chronic for that. So I take the piss for theirs anyway. So
well, that's the thing. I mean, sometimes if my lot of nattering, I might put a film where I think I put on Zombie Holocaust. Yeah, and that got their ears pricked up and said, "What are you watching?" As someone's face has been eaten apart.
Well, my partner chose a good one for pirates, and that was Waterworld. So
oh god, yeah,
I like to go a little bit off the wall, So
didn't go down the Johnny Depp route then, like most people would have done.
No. We do try to be a little bit different. So yeah. So that was that. But it's quite good, especially when now so much people are looking for things, and start a little film club. We've got loads of these genres in the bag, and say once we go through the 4, then we draw another one.
I'm sure you could probably alternate that with subgenres as well, so you can make them make a few more out of that. Yeah.
So there's plenty of and I think there are. Hopefully, there's not actors called Chris or something in there. That would be so.
Chris Pratt.
Sort of thing.
Chris Pine. You could always get Star Trek.
Yeah, the Aladdin Live, which I was well pressed with. That was good. Watched that the other day. But I've got plenty lined up over the next few days as well. So got to catch up on these films. So go on then. I'll let Hayden chip in when you start chatting about your big one that you've been talking.
All right. Well, the one that I've been watching is actually Rocket Man, which is the musical adaptation of Sir Elton John's life. Obviously, this one was released fresh off the heels of Bohemian Rhapsody, and it came from the same director, which was Dexter Fletcher, who started out, I think, as an actor because he was in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, wasn't he? It's a very different interpretation of a sort of like, documentary about. It's less of a documentary, more of a more ostentatious, so in terms of the interpretation. It's got Taron Egerton in it, who you'll know from Kingsman as Eggsy, but he was also Eddie the Eagle in that movie as well. And I think I think he's a really good actor. He shows an awful range of skills in it. Awfully good range of skills.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a big actor. He was good in. Did you ever see him in Robin Hood?
But didn't that flop? I heard. I think
that was
awful. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I like. I don't always like to be taken too seriously when I'm watching a film. If I'm entertained, then that ticks all the boxes for me.
So how do you both find Rocket Man? Because I've not seen it yet. I'll wait till it comes on Sky. Shouldn't be too long now, but
it's really I love the movie. It's completely different to Bohemian Rhapsody because that is very much like a realistic story. In terms of this one, he'll be it starts off with him going into rehab, and he's in full dressed as the devil sort of thing. Walks into this rehab, and then he starts saying, "Well, what do I do?" sort of thing, and then he says, "Well, you just talk and say." And he starts talking. Then this like little child version of him appears in the same room, and he looks at him. Then the next thing, you're going into a musical number, and then it's suddenly
so
in a
weird
in a
and wacky.
street.
Then is it?
But the music's not in the correct way it was recorded, so that the songs don't come out in his career. His life is put to how he decides to put the music to it.
So it was just it could be like a musical, as if they would play any song in any order, not start off with back to the US as a bar or whatever.
Fantastic. It really is. It's brilliant. We went a couple of times and saw it before we got it on disc as well. And my daughter bought me the book and that then gives you the real story of it, and it goes over a lot further than the film. So
I meant it'd be interesting actually that Eggsy, I'm going to call him now for a minute, because how long this film's been in production? Because obviously in the sequel to Kingsman, Elton John was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I just wondered whether or not he was so impressed by him. He asked him to do it.
Yeah, or were they chatting about this at the time? Was it on the go or what? It'd been interesting to know what their conversation was like.
Yeah, or it could just be a complete coincidence.
Yeah.
There's some good extended scenes in it as well on the disc.
I've not checked out the extended scenes yet, but I have to admit, as soon as I'd finished playing it, I went on and I ordered the album on record.
What the greatest hits?
No, the soundtrack for the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And of course, because I ordered it off Amazon, then you get the digital version immediately. So I've already got it, and I've listened through it, and it's good.
Yeah.
But I do like having the vinyls, as you do, Steve, as well.
Yes. Oh God, man!
Record collectors, aren't we?
What I've had recently, Jesus Christ, with quite a few bits and pieces coming in, and we've still got a few more to come in the post. But apparently, it's not going to be delayed from America. But I think I've got something coming in April. Got something coming end of the month. So there's a few here and there, which is nice. I think
Donald Trump's not too bothered about kicking things out of America. It's just bringing them in that's the problem.
I'm going to say this. You might not have seen this on Twitter, but I was talking to Mo Sharif, who works for Mondo.
Yeah.
And he was doing a live chat with someone on Twitter, so asking questions. And I had a couple of questions. But one of my questions is, are you going to do a repressing of the 3 vinyl version of Batman Returns?
Mm-hmm.
And he said no, because it probably won't be happening. He said, I've got a couple here in the store. If you were here, I'd give you one for free. And then I said to him that I'm in the UK. So he said, here's my email address, contact me and we'll sort it out. So finally then it looks like I could be getting the Danny Elfman soundtrack, which is the 2 vinyl runs around still, but I wanted the 3 vinyl pressing. So I did actually. I've emailed him, but I've got the score to Death Stranding coming in vinyl, and the video game. So he might put one in the same box for me.
Yeah,
on
that'd
that.
be
But
good.
it's nice of him to do that. Actually, that was quite cool. I appreciate that. And he's always said to me, because he knows I'm a big Mission Impossible fan, and we've only got 2 out so far, and they're going to bring the rest out over the next coming years, couple of years or whatever.
Yeah.
And he said to me, "I'll try and get me a test pressing of the next one." So that'd be pretty cool, because they obviously release some test pressings to see how they come out.
Yeah.
But they don't normally sell them, or they do sell them at limited quality, and they just go like hotcakes. But, are you into vinyl match at all, Gnats, or not? Or do you
Into what?
vinyl, or do you stick to digital?
I used to buy masses. Because I used to be a DJ. I had a mobile disco.
Right. Yeah.
So, but quite a few years ago, I sold them all. So I don't have any. I just didn't have the space. I had thousands and thousands of them.
Yeah.
So I just had to bail them out in the end.
Real shame. See, if you, I don't. Did you get a lot of money for them in the end? Or did you?
Not as much as I've kept a few special ones, but I didn't keep as much as I'd like. I just had to make space.
Yeah.
So
if you get the Discog app, you can see what they're worth.
Yeah. I had some pearlers, absolute pearlers.
Yeah.
Shame. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I've
with
still
Steve's
got some
collection,
nice
he can buy a car with it, you know. So
I think I'm up to 11,000 at the moment.
I was on that about blimey. Well, when I first sold them, probably getting up about 10 years ago. I sold them
because I as Hayden knows, I do collect movie soundtracks, and
I've
got a huge collection of them. So because what they do is when they release the pressings, they are limited, a lot of them.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you might get 500 to 1,000 pressings coming out. And you've got to be quick on the finger, on the refresh button to grab a copy. But actually, saying that, just that Record Store Day's been cancelled this year for the moment, and is which I go to the last couple of years, and that's being going to be on June the 20th now. Apparently, hopefully that's going to stick, because there's a few pressings they're bringing out. They're bringing out a lot of David Bowie pressing special ones as well. So I'll see what I can bag on that day when I get in line in the queue very early in the morning for my local store. Yeah.
Anyway, so the last thing I had to watch, I don't know if either of you guys have watched Altered Carbon.
No, I'm very much aware of it. Yes.
Yeah, I think I think you'll enjoy this one, Steve. It's quite Blade Runner-esque.
Is this
sort of thing?
Is this a second series? Because I think
yes, this is season 2. It's released a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I think you'll need to watch season 1 to really understand the world. But effectively speaking, in terms of this world, there's these little discs that fit within in the discs of your neck, and they effectively replace your brain for storing your memories, your personality, your decision-making process.
Can you swap them out then and put different ones?
Yes, that's what happens. People swap bodies, which they call sleeves.
Right.
And also people can have these discs backed up as well, so that there can actually be 2 or 3 versions of a person. It's supposed to be against the law, but that's what happens in season 2.
Oh, okay.
And I think actually there was a couple of characters in season 1 that were the same person, but just different sort of like iterations of it. I mean, it took me a while to get used to the sort of like Altered Carbon world when I watched season 1, and I found the beginning of season 2 took a little bit of while to do it again, because obviously, because you can swap between bodies, what that means is they don't have to be, in terms of a show producing, they don't have to stick with the same actor to actually to do it. So last year, they had Joel Kinnaman playing a part of Takeshi Kovacs, who's the main character. But this time it was Anthony Mackie, as in Falcon from the Avengers.
Oh, okay.
And he took it in a slightly different direction. And but it was still good. But I quite enjoyed Joel Kinnaman version of Kovacs as well. Chris Connor, who is also in there, he plays Poe, he originated as an AI for a hotel, but he's become Kovacs' sort of assistant. And then there's another actor called Will Young Lee. He played Kovacs in his original body on season 1, but he also came back in season 2, which is like set 250 years later, as the Prime Kovacs. So there's 2 versions of Kovacs, the main character. And also Renee Elise Goldsberry was Cal Christ Falconer in season 1. She's come back as the same person as well. It's one of those shows that there's lots of intrigue, double-crossing conspiracies, that you've got to really take note of, and if you don't follow it, you might struggle with the series, because it's that sort of one you don't want to miss anything in it because of the way that it all interacts. And I think you do need to see season 1 to properly understand season 2, although they are both sort of like separate stories, but with like one link between them, and that is Kovac looking for Kelcast Falconer's recreation in a new sleeve, because that's his like long lost love, as it were. But I would say it's definitely worth a watch. But do see season 1 before you see season 2, because otherwise you'll be going, what on earth is going on? It is confusing. And then because you also have VR constructs as well, so it's not only that you can have people swapping bodies, it can actually be effectively swapping realities and going into like a Matrix kind of world as well. But it is very, if you like Blade Runner, you should like this, I would say.
Yeah, I do like that sort of world. That time I actually went back to the other 2 movies actually and started watching them again. Actually, I think.
Yeah,
they're 2 of my favourite 4Ks in my collection. Yeah.
Well, I would definitely recommend that you watch this, and it's on Netflix, so it's free to watch now. Yeah. So, anyone got anything else to add?
No, I'm done.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, because if I keep talking too much, I'll end up being a bit sounding weird. So yeah, I'm fine.
All right. In that case, then we'll go on to listener questions. So, listener questions this week, and as always, we have Mark, who starts us off. What I would just to say is Mark wishes you all the best for things he heard that you were coming on and heard about your circumstances, so I just thought I'd pass that on. So the question is, what innovation has been the biggest impact on your gaming habits in the last 10 years?
What innovation has Oh, blimey. Well, I would say you'd have to go 18 years when I first got my Xbox, because I'd always been PC before then. And the Xbox just did it, because I never hardly ever played games on PC after then, and it was just Xbox Live was just a totally.
I'm surprised you didn't say Kinect, because you were a bit of a fan of that. I remember right.
I love Kinect, but it wasn't. It didn't suck me any further.
No.
Well, it just kept me stuck in there, and I've actually got my Kinect set back up to my Xbox One X. I actually managed to get, because I wouldn't buy somebody third-party adapter to plug my Kinect back in, but I've got I've got it plugged into an original Microsoft set, so it's there sitting on top of the telly. But yeah, it was a shame. You can say I don't mind them trying. I've tried a lot of their tech that they came out controllers wise, but yeah, I think 360 for me, just getting on that the 6 months before it came. So I say I'm 18 years on Xbox Live this year, and yeah, it's been brilliant. brilliant.
Would you go back to PC?
No, not at all, because I just like, I've got the big, all the sound, because I'm lucky in the fact that a partner doesn't mind me playing it on the TV. I am just mindful of, noise if it needs to, but to be able to have it when there's no one in the house, having it loud and playing games and just being totally immersed in there. I've got a 60 QLED TV. And I just love it. Just love it, because I'm gone. And at the moment, that's one of the best things. I can go on there and play Call of Duty for 2 hours, and I don't think anything else, nothing else is in there. It's just me playing the game, and it's just something to forget about everything. And I love that. So it's I just like the. I would say that you've lost a bit with the community side of things. When we had the 360, that was they were special times. They were, because you had your groups and you had your games with people, and you had a good lot of people playing there, and they were good times. But I still enjoy it. It's just not as nice with random people.
Yeah. What do you think about all these platforms that are like games delivered as a service rather than as a game traditionally?
We've got to see, haven't we?
Yeah.
I'll give it a try.
I was just thinking, because you've not got into Destiny, which is like one of the examples. Have you tried Fortnite or anything like that?
No, because I've always classed myself as being shit. so I've been very wary of two multi. If it's a multiplayer I'm playing, it has to be something that I can think, I don't give a shit how crap I am. But yes. the Fortnite, etc. I'm not good enough, and I want to be able to enjoy. I don't mind being shit and enjoying myself, but I don't want to be shit and get frustrated that I'm no good. So sorry about
being yelled at. Yeah. While being yelled at by a 12-year-old telling him what he's going to do to your mother.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Steve.
So, I think even it's old. I think it's older than 10 years. But I think when Xbox Live came out, I think that was something that really changed. It was a game changer. And playing that first game with a complete stranger. Actually, no, I didn't. I played with a work colleague playing Link's Golf. And I think Topspin as well was one of the other ones that came out. And it was just amazing to just be in your own in space, but being with someone that was 20, 30 miles away.
Yeah.
And we probably take it for granted these days, but it's come a long way. And I think out of all the services, Microsoft have really kept the head end working well. It's had a few flutters with a few hacks over the years, and PlayStation had it as well. But overall, though, they're doing this stuff. They keep trying to bring out new ideas. I mean, I do enjoy sometimes if I'm in the same room as the missus and she's watching EastEnders, I can just get my phone out, get my Bluetooth controller, and carry on playing Destiny without just works so well. They just nailed that one really, really brilliantly. Have you tried that at all, Mark?
No, not Destiny.
Well, not Destiny, any game, because
sorry.
Go on. With the you can stream from your console to your mobile telephone.
You mean the xCloud?
The xCloud, yeah.
Yeah. I have only got an iPhone, so that hasn't come over here yet. The work phone
it's out now. You can sign up for be part of it.
I haven't signed up yet. I've signed up, but I haven't seen anything to install it on there. But I wouldn't mind, because I've got a Surface as well, and I wouldn't mind taking it in when I'm in for a week and perhaps get some of that in.
Yeah.
So, but I definitely would try it because it's definitely worth trying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think for me, probably one of the biggest impacts has been Game Pass.
Oh, blimey, yeah.
Yeah, because that now, there's so many games that I've not bought because they've been on Game Pass, and I've just played those, on there. And I've tried ones that I would never have bought as well.
How do you feel about where they retire some games occasionally?
To be honest, I'm not normally playing them when they've retired them,
Mm.
so I'm not too bothered. In one or two of them, there's ones that are, they go onto your pile of shame, but you intend to go back to them. And there's been some times when stuff's gone on to Game Pass, and I thought, well, I might as well sell the ones that I've already got. And then I think, no, I won't bother. Kept the disc, knowing that they'll disappear out of Game Pass, and I've not gone back to the game in that time. So, effectively speaking, I've still got the game to play. Just trying to think, Shenmue, I think, was an example of that. Started that, but then got onto other things. And I've been recently quite obsessed with Destiny. But also quite not motivated with Destiny as well. It's I can't stop playing it, but I'm just so bored when I play it sometimes, unless you're playing it in a group, because I think as a singular game, it's not as good fun.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Steve, do you want to do the next question?
Well, do you want Mark to do it? Because I don't.
I'm back, yeah.
To the end. Sue won't.
Yeah. So,
Mark's second question.
Jason.
No, Mark's second question.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yes. Which game old and new could you play every day for a week? Oh, Rock Band. There you go. Rock Band 4. Easy peasy. And I'm
Is
lucky
that while you're quarantined?
Yeah. Well, I tend to, because and the nice thing with Rock Band is we're lucky that the whole of our form, my partner's got fiance, 3 daughters. Two of those enjoy doing it. She loves doing it. I enjoy doing it. My 2 children do it. And her eldest daughter, her boyfriend, he loves playing it. So we've got loads. We've got plenty of guitars. We've got a couple of microphones. We've got the drums, and we do have a good fun. And so that would be a great self-insulation game. And I think I've got a good 1,000+ songs on there. So we've got loads that when I do the singing, it's obviously my choice of song, but the Green Day I'm more suited to, because I've got all of those Green Day downloads that they put on there. That was a good disc, that Green Day disc. So that was an easy question. But
Steve, what about you?
I think it's a bit obvious, really, isn't it?
I think you and me are the same, isn't it? It's Destiny.
Yeah.
I don't think either of us would go very further off that at the moment. Steve, do you want to do Jason's?
Oh, let me have a go there. So, Jason Truthers, they don't make them like they used to. So, if you could bring back any TV show or game show, what would you put back on air?
I'd say Topless Darts.
that bullseye.
Don't you remember when they first started doing all the when we first had satellite, these channels.
So I was lucky; I didn't get to see it.
Yeah, and they did Topless Darts on some of these weird, goodness knows. I will admit, I never watched any of them, but they did do Topless Darts.
Yeah.
So, but I wouldn't like to see that again. Nah.
So you would bring it back, but wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but there were some shit games in those early days of satellite TV.
Well,
They were desperate to get anything.
even before that, even in the sort of mid-70s, I think we had Bruce Forsyth's Play Your Cards Right.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah.
And stuff like that, and Bullseye, and I suppose it was a game show with Sale of the Century, and you could win a mini car or a caravan then,
Yeah.
Crazy. It's I don't know if I could bring any of them back though.
No,
Thinking of a sort of like show to bring back, and this is going way back to the beginning of Sky Digital, is when I sort of like tuned in on this. But there used to be like I think it was a computer channel, and there was a program called Masterclass. Do you remember that?
I'm not sure.
And it used to be one guy, and what he used to do was he used to get questions in, and what each show, one question, and it would be, how do you do a vignette in Photoshop, or how do you do charts in Excel, and whatever. And he would just go through. It was like a 15-minute show or something, and he would just go through, set something up, and then he would show you how you did it. But it was all sorts, it was how to use Shockwave and stuff like that. It would just do these, 15-minute shows of how to do that. And I learned so much from that on different software that I'd never used. So that when I watched it, when I actually did come to use that software, I thought, oh, that was on that show. You sort of like do this, don't you? And I tried it out, and, it was worked fine. So, yeah, that was a really good show. I used to enjoy watching that. Definitely. But you guys can't remember it. So.
No.
It's funny. Most TV shows now, though, that you might want to bring back. I think a good bulk of them have been coming back in different shapes and forms, haven't they, over the last few years?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, there's some sitcoms that I don't think they'd work again if you brought them back, even though some of them get transferred to America. But then they never work there anyway. Sometimes Life on Mars, which was superb over here.
Oh, yes.
It's one of the most outstanding shows of that decade. And you go and see the American version, it's trash. It's absolute rubbish. And
he came out. You got a good actor out of that as well, isn't it? Philip Glennis.
Yeah. Oh, he makes me laugh. I've been rewatching the third series, the second series, which is oh God,
Life on Mars.
No, not like.
what was the follow up?
Ashes to Ashes.
Thank you.
That's it.
And some of his lines in that, I just crease up. Are just hilarious. Even in the original show as well. Superb.
Did I see someone do a how about bringing him to the two, this time, and bring him forward and see how he then fits in?
Well, I mean, because he wasn't. Well, I suppose we can say who he was, can't we? Really now, because it's quite old, but he was an angel, wasn't he?
In that
series,
I never saw all the way through Ashes to Ashes.
Oh, really?
I never saw much of this because I know it was based around a woman, wasn't it? The
Ashes to Ashes was, yeah, but no, he wasn't an angel. He was close to death. He hadn't crossed over. That was the whole thing.
I don't know really, because
no, that was the Phil, whatever his name was. He was the sort of like
he was a guardian. He was a
guardian to beckon police officers to cross over.
Yeah,
that's what
that I'm casting that as an angel in this case, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but because everyone else was actually dead, weren't they? They were their spirits. So they didn't realise they were dead, did they? Until we got
they didn't until they didn't until it was until when they did realise that was where he got them to go to the afterlife.
Yeah, and when they went to the pub, that obviously Mark were in the original Life on Mars, where they used to go for a drink.
Yeah,
that pub, and they had the barman there. The Jamaican guy. he was in it as well in that last episode of Ashes to Ashes, and he came outside and welcomed everybody in, sort of thing. Very sad. But yeah,
it was a good show. Oh, but they were both good. Okay, so we got Paul Wilson says, "Do you have a celebratory crush? If you had to pick one, it would have to be. If he had to pick one, he had to be Judge Judy. I just love the way that she cuts through the BS. She is a fair-minded woman with good family values. What she lacks in age, she makes up for with plenty of personality, and no doubt she is well minted in the money department too. My wife seems to agree with me with my reasoning, as she's fairly frequently asks, so tell me, who is your celebrity crush?"
Who's going to go?
I don't know. Well, I'm easy, because believe it or not, I don't have a celebrity crush.
Not even as a child.
No.
I did as a child.
No, I can't think of anyone that I think. No.
But did you have one?
Celebrity crush.
I mean that's a loose term, isn't it? But was there anyone that was on television that you had a crush on?
Well, back in the days of Lois and Clark, I used to have a big thing for Terry Hatcher.
No, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back older than that.
That's not that old ago, is it?
No.
Well, that was the early 90s, mate.
Yeah, but you were, how old were you then, roughly?
I was in my early 20s.
Okay, I'm talking when I was about 9 or 10. I'm going back that far. Okay, and I don't think it might have been a bit older. I'd have to look at dates, but I had a crash with someone that I saw in Freaky Friday and Bugsy Malone.
Oh, Jodie Foster.
Yeah. Don't ask me why, but I did. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just had such a soft spot for her, Not knowing now what she's like, but yeah, just really weird. But yeah, I did.
Now, the only person I would say I had a crush would be a singer, and that was Kate Bush. She was the only one.
I mean, going later on to say when Hayden, you're talking about, you were about in the 90s. I think in the 80s I had a bit of a crush on Baywatch.
Yeah.
And the girl that played McLean, I can't think of her first name now. The one that was in that movie with where she jumped out where she jumped out the birthday cake.
Yeah.
On the ship.
I know who you mean. I can't think of. I hardly ever used to watch Baywatch, and it wasn't. No, I wasn't.
They're all on Amazon Prime now. If you want to go back to it.
Yeah, I'm not really that bothered, to be honest.
Honestly, I went back just to watch a few episodes because I do like the Hoff. He's great.
I know that the genius of it was keeping him running up and down the beach in bikinis, but that's about as much as I know of it.
Well, I think because you've seen the film Baywatch, do you remember that is very funny? Do you remember?
Yeah, it is a funny movie.
If you watch a couple of the episodes, I think it'll even hit you differently again than if you watch them. Because it might even make you laugh, probably, because after seeing the comedy with The Rock and that.
Yeah. So I think we've already got a couple more. So we've got Mark. He's asking, keep up the great work, guys. A lot of people will be working from home. Some already are. So what from your backlogs is going to be played, and what recommendations do you have for pretending to work?
I have a skill at that.
Yeah.
Pretending to work. And that's, don't get contacted because you're busy working.
Yeah.
Because I'm all of my schools will be looked after from remotely. So I'll be, doing security fixes and anything, updates, and just keeping an eye on their servers, etc. So
all the schools are closed, and you won't need to, will you? I suppose.
No, well, yeah, because they still like one of my schools are an Office 365. So I had to set up before they left on Friday. Yeah, they're using Teams, you see.
Yeah.
So and we had Helen will problems getting that up and running because every man and his dog wanted to use it. So, and obviously you still got all their emails and just keeping it.
But also with schools, if you're a key worker or you've got a child on a education healthcare plan or whatever, then those kids can still go to school as long as the school can protect them.
Yeah, well, the South End school where I work for, they're taking the teachers and people that need critical workers, so they've got to be keep up and running so that's got to be kept up and running for them. So yeah, but I'm not saying it's going to be 24/7, but you're on standby for them. So there you go. That's sort of pretending.
Yeah. We better swiftly move on, haven't we?
Yep. Okay. So Dave's asking, how do you feel about Bungie? Dave asking, how do you feel about Bungie going down the roads of weapon quest lines, no story strikes, or better raids?
I think they're trying to juggle it about a little bit at the minute, especially with the different seasons. And I think it's probably, until we see a Destiny 3, if we ever do, this is probably the best way to go about it, I think, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, they've tried a lot of ways to monetize it, haven't they?
Yeah, and I think this does work very well. And I know some of the quest lines are very short and the stories are very short, but it's a lot of work involved in keeping these servers running as an online service. So
yeah, but the game has turned into Pokemon with the weapons.
It's always been like that, though, I think, anyway, from day one. I was gutted losing our vault from Destiny 1. All right, we can probably still go back to it, but it's not like you can bring it in with what we got now. But that's why they try and occasionally bring an exotic from the past and put it back in the vault, on a quest line. And I think there's another one coming out soon as well that will be around. Not sure which one it is, but it's all right. I'm okay with it.
I just want to bring back the icebreaker.
We never know, that might want to come back. There's talk of the rocket launcher coming back, isn't there? So
Galahorn.
Yeah.
No, we'll have to see. Mark, any? It's not your radio thing, is it?
No.
We'll pass on that one and move to Nick. Good idea. Because actually, I forgot we should have mentioned this in the news because I fell asleep. No, I'm not well anyway.
Okay. So Nick Wilson said, why is Mark Cerny allowed to speak in public about PlayStation? He is the most boring, monotone voice ever. Even self-help meditation books are more interesting than him.
I started to listen to it, but I fell asleep. No,
it was the wrong way. It was the wrong way to go about it, to be honest. It was just mine. That's not what people want to hear. I think they wanted more bullet points and give it a bit more. They could jazz it up a bit, maybe. I don't know. What do you think? Because I thought it was just. I think they went the wrong way around it, to be honest.
I completely missed it, I have to admit. I'm being a bit too busy with other stuff.
Go onto YouTube and have a little look, and yeah, it was dire. Honestly, I'm not knocking PlayStation, but I just think they just went around it the wrong way, to be honest.
Yeah, you've either got PlayStation doing boring ones, or you've got Major Nelson on the other side, who's a bit like having full black coke and then sticking in about 10 spoonfuls of sugar into it.
It's going to be interesting how E3 is going to be tackled with Microsoft are going to have to do a digital.
They've already said they're doing that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting how they're going to bring it across and how they're going to deal with it. Whether or not they'll still do what they were going to do on stage, but they'll be known in the audience, but it just come out as a show as such. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think they're. I think that'll suit them just as much. I think.
Yeah, they can do it exactly the same. Just there won't be anyone in the audience.
No,
yeah, definitely. Okay, so last question then is why has Sony been Nicky again? Why has Sony been so poor with backward compatibility with the last few PlayStations? PS4 had no back compat. Now PS5 has compatibility with some PS4 games. I thought it was going to be all, I have to admit.
Yeah, there was a backtrack on that, apparently.
Yeah. they pretty much stated backward compatibility, or started backward compatibility with the PS2. This isn't very for the gamers move.
I think that how to suddenly live, if they want to shove everything out, then I can't see why they wouldn't be able to. There has to be something, surely, that individual with the hardware that is going to stop certain ones that are taking certain technology that's stopping them bring it out straight away, but they will intend on doing it. Where perhaps how the Series X has been produced is that it doesn't perhaps isolate certain parts of a game that stops it coming part, in effect, porting it straight over. And that could be why the Xbox, I did see that point blank from first console, first game, they're all available regardless. It can only be how the games are put together. But I'm sure if Sony want to, they'll do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a bit of a waffle to start with. I just
all right.
Yeah.
Steve, any views?
Pretty much the same, actually, but I don't know what their beef is. I don't know what the beef is with PlayStation and backwards compatibility. They don't seem to want to put their effort into it, maybe. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, but it's just what it seems like to me.
I don't think that they see the worth in it, whereas I think everybody on Xbox has pretty much demonstrated how universally loved that is.
But and that's the point. Sony, if they have got to spend a bit more money to bring those compatibility, I can see why they wouldn't see the value in that. Whereas if Microsoft have all got to say, "Oh, you just play it," then it's just there, regardless of whether they haven't got to, as such, spend any extra money to tweak certain ones and do it. It's just there and is available, and you play it. So that's the value of it.
I have to admit, after owning all of the consoles, as in Xbox and PlayStation, I have had more freebies and giveaways with Xbox than I have with PlayStation. And personally, I think that PlayStation is much more money grabbing. They're both money grabbing, don't get me wrong, but I think that PlayStation is that little bit more money grabbing in terms of it as a platform. And I think that what they'll want to do is do like they've done with the PS2 games, and that is recharge you for the same stuff that you've already bought. Because you can buy PS2 games on PlayStation, but you can't stick the disc in from the PS2 into PlayStation.
I think that is one of the best things Microsoft ever did was doing the back compat. They've now obviously stopped it, but those back compat games they brought out, if you owned it digitally or you owned a disc, they would give you it for free.
Yeah.
They wouldn't charge you, and I think that was a blinding move from Microsoft.
Absolutely.
And that just shows the sort of intent they have on. I know that the phrase for PlayStation is for the gamers, but Microsoft, even though they've had a bit of a hiccup with the Xbox One X and all that malarkey, things are going to turn maybe when we see the next console come out.
I still think PlayStation will sell more.
Oh, I don't know. They're still horses for courses again, isn't it?
It is. It is. Well, we will see. We will see. I would actually be quite surprised if there is a full supply of the consoles this year. I think that there'll be, because of everything that's going on in the world, I think that they might still keep the dates, but they'll have a very limited number of them, and they're going to be like rocking horse drop-ins.
The dates, which is confirmed as Thanksgiving for Microsoft. So it's roughly around the same sort of time as last time it came out, isn't it? So
yeah, but there's all that all of the previous back orders that the companies that produce the chips will have to do.
Be
The
interesting
delays,
because
everything.
when we come to June and we get the E3 thing, it'd be interesting to see it saying you can pre-order. You can go on now, or maybe go to Amazon. You're gonna have to be quick if you want to pick one up. You know, I think you're gonna have to be on that finger straight as soon as that's announced.
Yeah,
You'll be there looking at if you want to pick one up.
definitely. Yeah.
So
Anyway, I think we're done, aren't we? Because I know that Nats,
Mark's-
you've,
I'm back.
yeah,
you're back. It's been really great having you on the show. I know that we've never done a show together before.
No,
although I think we
never.
have met once back in EGX many years ago when I was
Yeah.
with Steve, but that was a long time ago.
Mm.
God,
But
blimey,
we've never
yeah.
actually been on the same show
That was
before.
Birmingham, wasn't it?
yeah.
It was.
That's the first one they did at Birmingham, wasn't it?
I'll have to try and
It
find
was.
some of those photographs from that year
Yeah.
Blimey.
when we
I
were
was
doing
back
that.
then, I reckon.
When we did that Fable, we were doing the Fable.
Yeah, that's it.
I think you might have even still been doing white noise back then as well.
I think I was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I took my GoPro in, I think.
That's
Yes,
right,
you
you
did. You had it on your chest. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, you had that chest.
Yeah,
harness,
because I
sorry.
wasn't allowed to record it then either. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Ah.
Yeah, so
But,
it's been a
oh,
pleasure talking to you.
no, it's good. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming
it's-
back
and
on.
it's nice. It's nice to hear your voice again with you because I've got so many memories of what we've been up to over the years
Oh,
between you
yeah.
and me. And
Yeah.
I'm good. If anything, is one memory I was just going to mention because I think I've laughed as much as I did is when we were doing a Christmas show one year.
Not with the patch
Yes,
on there.
Yeah,
I've still got that picture.
I couldn't stop laughing, and he really got arsey with us over it.
Oh, dear. Hang on. I've
What
That
was
was-
this? Do you want
I've
to
just
share the
sent it
story
to-
with us? Because I don't remember this at all.
Go on, you do you want to tell it, Mark?
I was with my partner then, and I was decided to do it on the settee, and I think I'd had a little bit to drink,
Oh,
and
we both did actually.
and I bought a load of crackers with jokes in there, and in this, and I must admit I was a bit porky then. One of the crackers had a patch, an eye patch on there.
Yeah.
And I thought I would look to right state, and I just plopped this on my eye. I've just sent it in the chat thing, so feel free to show it on the whatever you want. And I sent it, and I looked a right old mess.
But the thing
It
is,
was-
I couldn't stop laughing. I was
we
just
were
crying.
pissing ourselves, yeah.
And someone
It
was,
was,
it was obviously someone else was trying to be serious, but we were just in hysterics. It was like,
yeah.
oh, dear.
Yeah.
Very fun. So.
Anyway,
But,
do you want to give out your contact details for anybody who might want to get in contact
Yeah,
with you?
sure. Yeah, if anyone wants to knock me up on Xbox, I'm on just Gnats, Gnats. On Twitter, I'm Gnats UK. And that's it. I don't really use any of the other multimedia. So, but if you see me, happen to see me on Facebook, then I'll chat on there. And anything else. So that's about it. I keep my self to myself. But yeah, and yeah, please, if anyone wants to have a look at my film movies, I've put there for Hayden to share that about as well if he wants. And I hope I get to speak to you all again. And thanks for all your kind wishes, from the recent episode and the one 18 months or so ago as well. They're all very very nice to hear from you, so thanks very much.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming on, Mark. When we heard, we were, blown away by by the news. And, just I think what you've got to go through with, and that you're incredibly brave man to do that.
You've got to do it, haven't you?
You have, and I think I say for all of us, we just really hope that it goes well and that you can come back and tell us about it and keep us updated.
Yeah, I look forward to that. It'd be good. Thanks very much.
That would be cool. Steve, do you want to do your contact details?
Yeah, so Twitter at Steve07, the PSN ID is the real Steve07. Instagram is Steve0764. That's about it, really. But you can grab me on Twitter most of the time. Yeah. If I'm not coughing and splattering like I am.
Did you get those pictures, by the way?
I haven't seen them yet.
I haven't seen it.
But I will try and dig out and see if I can find some of those Facebook ones of that year, if I can dig them out.
Okay, so my contact details are, if you want to search my YouTube channel, just search for HERJ UK. If you search HERJ UK on Twitter, PSN, Xbox Live and Steam, you can find us on there. But on Epic, it's Pop Culture Gamers. Don't forget as well that we have our Facebook group. We also have a Facebook page as well that you can go on there if you use that. If you want to follow the show on Twitter, you can follow Pop Culture Gamer. There's no S because it exceeds the number of characters allowed for a name. If you want to email the show, you can email podcast@popculturegamers.co.uk or visit our website at popculturegamers.podbean.com. I was talking to Mark, by the way, who... different Mark, our Ace Plant Man, who's been talking about maybe doing a couple of reviews to put on there. So if anybody else wants to do reviews that we can upload onto our website, please let us know as well. Send me in any text and appropriate pictures and I'll get those put on there as well. Other than that, that's it. So it's been a good show. Thank you, Steve, for coming. Thanks to Alan, and a very special thank you to Mark as well for being along today. It's been really good. Thank you.
Been good, good evening. Thanks very much. Enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Okay, so take care, everyone. Hope you enjoy your social isolation and your gaming. And we'll see you soon. Alan and I will be doing Picard number 9 in the next couple of days, so you'll be able to get our latest theories, because I've got a real corker about one of the revelations in the 9th episode, which might be quite interesting. And that's it. So thanks very much.
Bye.
Bye.